Okay, here we are again. I've been muting the mic for a little bit longer at the beginning of the past couple of streams just because I said, I could start the stream because before I would wait to start the stream till I was all like shoved into my desk with my chair, had everything all set up in front of me, and I said, I could always start the stream a little earlier than that and just mute the microphone, get all my stuff set up so I'm ready to sit here for the next 2.5 to 3 hours. And then I could turn the microphone back on and just go from there. So I decided that was what I was going to do. And that's why I've been muted for longer at the beginning of each stream for the past couple of streams. So there we go. Anyway, it's neither here nor there. We will get started in just a couple of minutes. I'll probably let the game start playing in about 30 seconds. And then we will get ready to go. Because we have a date with Destiny today. Well, Charlotte does anyway. So we shall see how Destiny treats her. I already have a plan. And honestly, that plan is probably going to trivialize the boss fight, but at the very least, I think it'll be, it'll make sense in character because it'll be, cathartic for Charlotte herself. So, I don't know. I'm still going to do it. I feel like it'll be appropriate. I don't know if it'll probably make the boss fight completely trivial, but that's okay. I'll deal with it. Thought I was hearing things. Must be a little bit of white noise on the background of the headphones, even though I have everything muted. Well, that's okay. I think I'm going to load this save. I don't know how it would feel about, because I did some stuff for testing purposes off screen in between streams, and I may have made an exit save that I ended up deleting. So I'm just going to load this one because this is just the save itself. So I think we'll load this one, and we'll load it up right now. So a thought occurs to me. Last time, when we fought that super mutant behemoth and I beat him senseless with my sledgehammer, we got Deathclaw meat. And I think I mentioned, that sounds like we've never made that before. So we ended up roasting it into this Deathclaw steak, which is a little smaller than I expected it to be. But it occurs to me, we haven't seen a Deathclaw at all on this playthrough, have we? I'm so used to the game's tutorial because you actually see a Deathclaw in the game's tutorial, which should tell you a lot about how Fallout 4's power scaling goes, or lack thereof. We've never even seen a Deathclaw, so this would basically be mystery meat to Charlotte. Well, let's hope whatever made this meat, it's not as angry as I'm sure Charlotte probably is at the moment, or we might be in for a hell of a fight. How you doing, everybody? Welcome back to Fallout 4, the Stream Edition. Last time, we went back to Nick's office. He told us the name Kellogg, and we went to his house in Diamond City, got some clues, and Dogmeat sniffed this location out, Fort Hagen, as the current location of the man who killed Charlotte's husband and kidnapped her son. So, without further ado, let's finally get to the main event and take care of business, shall we? Erase this man from existence. We went into the fort a little bit previously. I did actually forget something up on the top floor, so I'm going to go grab it before we think about it too hard. So let me go up all the way towards where the roof entrance was. This is the second floor. The way through is that way, so we'll go that way in a second. But before I do that, I want to go grab something else that I forgot. This is still on fire, so that's funny. I think I grabbed everything from all the synths around here, which would be evident by their inventory having nothing in it. Anyway, on the table in the kitchen here is
Perfect.
another edition, I think we've got one of these before already, of Guns and Bullets. It's weird to me, though, that this is a Guns and Bullets magazine because it's for ballistic weapons specifically, but it shows a laser rifle on the cover, which is, I mean, the cover's funny, like, absolute overkill. Speaking of overkill, look at the price of the magazine. All these magazines are like over $30 per magazine. That's nuts. Like, the cover's funny, but like I can't help but see the laser weapon and be like, that shouldn't count because it's not a ballistic weapon. Does that make me a stickler? I don't know. I guess it doesn't matter. Anyway, since I have that now, let's head back downstairs and find the way forward, because I know the way forward now. It was in the one place I didn't look, so we'll go to the one place I didn't look, and then we'll move forward. I think I already looked in here. There wasn't like a... Oh yeah, there was a first aid, but I already went to the first aid and found nothing, so there you go. But yeah, there's a hole in the wall in the colonial room here, so we're going to use the hole in the wall to move forward. Well, that was Twitch telling me that it's live. I just saw a synthetic mane go down the hallway there. I'm not sure if I should move up or if I should stay here and wait for him to come back. I feel like they patrol back this way, so maybe we'll... What do you think, buddy? Should we stay here and wait for him to come back? We should, because here he comes. Alright, so, anyway, torso.
Systems offline.
There we go. Well, he managed to knock him out without any of his friends deciding to make the rounds. That's cool. I'm sure his friends will make the rounds eventually, but not just yet. Hey, more plasma cartridges. Nice. 8 rounds. Not bad. Excuse me, buddy. I have to go pick up his rifle, you see. His pistol, you see. Alright. I think, yeah, there's another one right here. Synth leader. Fun. Take his head clean off? Just about, yeah.
Oh, goodbye.
Goodbye. Most appropriate thing he could have said right there. Okay, well, that takes care of that. I'll get my fusion cells back, and then some. We're already up by about 40 from what we had. Yeah, once you start getting into the higher level synths, they'll start equipping synth armor to try to make things a little bit harder on you in terms of all that other stuff. Let's see. Do I want to take this marksman's calibrated powerful pipe bolt? It's a rifle. What's it got on it anyway? It's got a reflex sight. I don't need the bayonet so much. Long finned barrel. Okay. Not really a fan. I'm trying to plan a little bit for the future here because we're coming up on the point, well, I'm not getting through that, where I'm going to have all of the legendary weapons that I want that are guaranteed. Did I? I did. Didn't think about that mine, and it's a good thing I did because Dogmeat decided to go absolutely ham. Just sprint straight through where there's potentially a mine that you can step on. No big deal. Crazy guy. Yeah, but we're coming up on the point where I'm going to have all of the legendary weapons that are guaranteed to drop. And I might want to swap out the Wastelander's friend. Nothing against it. It's done well for us now. But once you start getting above level 20, 10mm ammo starts getting a little harder to come by. And it's just... The damage-wise, it's really not going to keep up for a while, so I might swap it out for something else. We'll see. All right, buddy, let's go in the elevator. What, are you spooked by one elevator? You go hunting Mirelurks and stuff for breakfast and you're spooked by one elevator? Alright, I'll send it back for you.
Going down.
Absolute spaz.
Oh,
Absolute spaz that he is. I suppose I shouldn't be shocked by his behavior. Alright, now. If I was a synth, I'd use this hallway as a, as like a choke point. So. Now that's a Mark III turret. Let's get rid of that real quick. Man, took a little while to get rid of it. Might just be my range though. Okay, that's an automatic pistol. Or rifle. Sometimes it's hard to tell. I believe this was the door that was chained over on the other side there. So did Kellogg like reprogram you guys, or is he working for whomever these synths came from?
Fascinating.
That would mean that he's working for the Institute. I don't know how I feel about that. Found you too, big guy. And now I will never find you again because you're off to the afterlife. If there is such a... Oh, there you are. If there is such a thing for sense. Who knows? Let's see, is there a... No, that's dirty water. I don't need that so much. Don't need this Abraxo cleaner either. Get that out of my way so I can look at what's in this chem cooler. Wonder if this place was like raider infested before Kellogg and the synths got here.
Got it.
That's what I imagine was happening, and then he just sort of cleared them out. But I don't think we see any bodies, like in terms of raider bodies, you know. So lots of salvage that you could get here if you really wanted it. I don't need it at the moment, but I suppose I might at some point. Shock baton, huh? No wonder he couldn't catch up to me because he didn't have any ranged ordnance with which to beat me up.
Yeah, if it isn't my old friend, the frozen TV dinner. Last time we met, you were cozying up to the peas and apple cobbler.
Pretty sure soon you're going to be cozying up to the earthworms, big guy. The rate I'm going. Won't be long. Especially if you think you can get me with this tension trigger. Actually knew that was there, I remembered. From a previous playthrough. More 50 caliber. That's not bad. It's another thing I'm thinking about is 50 caliber bullets because the gun that I'm thinking about getting uses 50 caliber ammo. And if you're wondering how that's going to factor into a pistols build, I don't understand how it works either, to be fair with you. I suppose you could probably modify a pistol to fire 50 caliber bullets, but I feel like it would probably be very like difficult to... Oh, that's what I heard. Buzzing around down here. Probably very difficult to cause it to do those things. Tension trigger, no.
Sorry your house has been a wreck for 200 years, but I don't need a roommate. Leave.
No, thank you. I'm not here as a roommate. I'm here to collect your rent. You're 200 years overdue. Bit over 210, actually. All right, command center. Oh, there's another military-grade circuit board. I suppose this would be a good place to get your circuit board and biometric scanner that you'll need later, if you don't feel like doing it when the game tells you to do it. You will need it soon.
Never expected you to come knocking on my door.
But
Gave you 50-50 odds of making it to Diamond City. After that, figured the Commonwealth would chew you up like jerky.
I mean, to be fair, it has tried. It hasn't exactly succeeded most times, but it has tried to chew me up like jerky. Well, that wasn't so good. How about we use the thing that always works? There. Well, that didn't work. Time to use the thing that always works. Are you still there? Some turret seems to know that I'm here somewhere.
Engaging. Kellogg. Shutting down.
If you need me terminated, Kellogg, then why not do it yourself? I'm right here. I'm ready. Let's do this. Or are you testing me again? Recon boosted improves. That's why I like renaming weapons sometimes, because after a while, if you don't rename them and you just leave them default after you've modified them, sometimes they just get, like, way too many names. So, I don't know. Okay, nothing around this corner. But around this corner.
Look, you're pissed off. I get it. I do. But whatever you hope to accomplish in here, it's not gonna go your way.
I don't know that you know that for sure. Hell hath no fury like a woman scorned, Kellogg, and if there's anyone that you have scorned, it would be this woman. So, well, that's nice. Plasma cartridges. We'll start finding more plasma cartridges now that we're at above level 20. They start showing up for Scrounger now, so... Those are used on weapons that I don't have access to yet, although I might be able to buy them. But, there isn't a plasma weapon equivalent of Righteous Authority unless you get it from RNG drops. And I don't think you can find legendary plasma weapons from enemy drops. Ooh, nice. Until, I think you have to be level 24 or something like that. So, not really going to be something that we have access to for a little while. Neither is that terminal, although that terminal's more like never. So, hello there. Decided not to fight today, or something's got Dogmeat in its sights. Another turret, another turret. Okay, okay, and a synth. Watch out, buddy. Not trying to shoot you, trying to shoot the guy that's trying to shoot you.
Fort Hagen is under Institute authority. Terminating intruder.
Well, that answers that question. Decided to come around the corner just as I went to collect the loot from your friend, huh? Sounds about right. Man, shook the screen with how strong that was. Wonder if it was because he stepped on this fire extinguisher that's here. And that's why he, like, hesitated for a second. Ah. Gotcha. I don't need the surgical tray. I'll just reach into your guts and pull out your fusion cells real quick. Sounds pretty gross, actually. Maybe I shouldn't have said that. Okay, restroom. Any first aid kits? Somebody brought a board game into a restroom. That's cool, I guess. What are you gonna do with that in here? Don't answer that. I don't think I want to know. Okay, shower room. Don't need that at the moment. Why take a shower when I have to kill a man? Then I'll have to take another shower. Rinse the blood off of my coat. Boy, that could be taken out of context pretty badly. Anyway. Another fusion core. Some more ammo. 44 rounds. Those are nice too. Definitely want to have those. If we can get those. Speaking of get those, can I get to this novice locked toolbox? Yes, but does it really have anything that I care about in it? No, not really. Alright, keep going. See if we've got any friends waiting for us this way. Doesn't appear so. medical room. Got any supplies left? They sure do. Some Rad-X, some Radaway. Probably a stim pack or two. Yeah, there's one. And, oh, 2 jet and an emergency pharmaceutical kit. The raiders must have been down here. Like I said, I think that's my headcanon anyway, is that there's raiders that were here before Kellogg came in and cleaned the place out. I don't know how true that is, but that's what I'm feeling like it is. Ah.
Bingo.
Don't want to miss this. The energy weapons bobblehead. Arrive at peaceful solutions by using superior firepower. So this will give us plus 25% crit damage with energy weapons, and I'm pretty sure that stacks with the lucky effect on Righteous Authority, so that should come in handy for the rest of this area. Of course, by the time we're done with this area, we're not really going to be using Righteous Authority as our critical hit thing, unless we're fighting synths, but, well, then we'll have extra damage, so it'll all work out, sort of. An explosives box. Bit of loot in this place, that's cool. Thanks for not
Sweet.
picking all this stuff up, Kellogg, and giving me all this ordnance with which to get my revenge on you. That seems like kind of counterintuitive to keeping yourself alive, doesn't it? How did you... Hello. No, okay, they found me. That's okay. Bye. Next. I don't think I need this for a regular old synth. I probably should have just beat him up with my hammer, but... Good grab, Dogmeat, good grab. Anybody else deciding they want to fight us for now? No. How am I doing on carry weight anyway? Oh, we've got plenty left. Alright, that's cool. Is this the... Yeah, this was the spot that I saw that was glowing before. What secrets do you have to tell us? Nuka-Cola Quantum. Somebody was taking a break in this corner. Fort Hagen Armory password. That sounds like it might be useful. Sure, I'll take it.
You got guts and determination. It's admirable. You are in over your head in ways you can't possibly comprehend.
To be fair, that was the case since I've gotten out of the vault, and honestly it was the case before as well, but I've still pulled through. What makes you think we won't this time? Synth Seeker, oh boy. That guy might be a little tougher than the usual. Charlotte, I'm gonna need you to hit your shots. I know he ducked behind a box, but I'm gonna need you to hit your shots. Alright, let's do that. And then we can wait for him to pop his head up. Oh wow, that didn't even kill him. Okay, well, time to liberally apply lasers then. Good work, buddy. Teamwork makes the dream work, as usual. Take that and that. Oh wow, blast this guy into Kingdom Come. Look at that. All the way over here. We're over 1,000 fusion cells again.
It's not too late. Stop. Turn around and leave. You have that option. Not a lot of people can say that.
You've never had kids, have you, Kellogg? Because if you had kids, you'd understand why that's just not an option. I have no choice in the matter. You must die now. You stole my child. I don't think you understand. Oh, here's the terminal for the armory password. Let's check it out, shall we? It's a good thing I checked in that little section of the map. Okay. That's another... Oh, okay. Hold on, buddy. I'm coming. Alright, there we go. Before I was interrupted by turrets. Oh, okay. It's got stim packs in here. Some Rad-X, some Radaway, some bobby pins. A little bit of everything. You know, the good stuff. Ooh. This way? This way.
Got it.
More bobby pins. I wonder if I should take any of this Wonder Glue. I feel like it won't be too hard to get Wonder Glue or shipments of adhesive at this point, though, so I'm kind of like, whatever. If I need it, I'll just go get my suit, pop a Great Mentat, and buy a shipment. I broke a bobby pin. This way. Yep.
That's it.
That's a lot of ammo. That's a fat man. Man, Kellogg, you're leaving me with so many options, dude. Targeting incendiary automatic laser rifle as well. I guess I'll take that too. 10mm auto pistol. Got plenty of this stuff. Some 5.56 rounds in case there was an assault rifle in here, which there's not. That's what the 5.56 rounds are used for, is assault rifles. So there you go. We have a fat man at home, though, so I might just shove this one inside this comically small box, to be honest. Because I won't need it for what we're going to go do. So there we go. We'll shove it into this comically small box because that's just become a recurring trend for me. And now let's see what else we've got here. No, thank you. I don't need a dinner fork. I'm beating the man up. I'm not taking pieces of his brain.
Perfect.
Anyway, here's another covert op manual. So that's good. A little bit of extra detection drop. This isn't considered a cabinet. This is considered a bathroom. Must have been some sort of executive suite. Whoever slept here got their own personal shower. Maybe the quartermaster stayed here? That'd be my guess.
Sweet.
I'll take both of those, thank you. Raxo, cigarettes, some fusion cells, and a mirror. Man after my own heart. A terminal. Do I need this terminal for anything? It's inside here. I guess I might as well take a look, right? Why not? See if we can guess the password. Let me take the that there drink of water first before we guess the password. Plans. Likeness 0, so it's not something that ends in S. Elder. In a Bethesda game, I see you. Alright, let's do some check work then. Oop, that's not check work. There we go. What else can we see here? Oop. Didn't even see that one. Thank you for showing me that it was there. More duds getting removed. I think we're in pretty good shape, honestly. I took plans before. So, what do we have? Elder, split, sword, and alarm. And I didn't take this one, so let's take that out. And that takes out alarm. So it's got to be one of the other three that we've got here. Likeness 1, so probably split.
Sweet.
Yeah. Oh, turret control. So you mean those things that I've already vaporized. Units connected 3. Okay, so this is just turret control. That's fine. I don't need the turrets to stop. I've probably gotten rid of pretty much all of them at this point. Did I get everything here? Let's see. That's where he came from. Armory, bedroom. Yeah, I've gotten almost everything. Haven't gotten this yet. That was a little stronger. Damn, where'd my HP go? Definitely a little stronger. What were they feeding you? Plasma cartridges? Good lord. Maybe I should have deactivated you. Although you would have come back online as soon as I started blasting, so, you know. Maybe that wouldn't have gone so well for me. No thanks, I don't need a hard hat and or a sequin dress. I'll take these bobby pins though. Thank you. I have more than I need, but you know. Might as well grab them while I'm at it. Alright, well, this looks like an executive suite. Is this where they had the mayor stay when he was potentially under fire?
Okay.
Not for lack of
Just
trying,
a man.
mind you.
My sins are standing down. Let's talk.
Talk, huh? You want to talk? Well, I think I know what I'm gonna do instead of talk. Oh, it's not an overdue book. That's unfortunate. Well, let's look in here first, see if there's anything in the room that I can take that I would want. And then we'll finally go confront Kellogg. Why do you need an ammo box in an infirmary box like this? Like, this looks like an infirmary bed.
Nice.
But, I mean, I guess it had fusion cells in it, so I'll take it. Broken light bulb. Saving the best stuff for last, huh, buddy? Excuse me. Oh, there's some Addictol in there. That's nice. Not as easy to come by, so it's kind of good. Okay, so before we go in there, the first thing that I'm going to do is we need our HP back, but Kellogg wants to talk. So since he wants to talk, let's talk, shall we? Wait for my HP to come back, drop a quick save, and then we'll go on in. Okay. Here we go.
And there she is, the most resilient woman in the Commonwealth.
Not that the Commonwealth kept me from doing that. It's, you know, I got the opportunity.
Talk.
There's only one thing to talk about.
Enough. Just. Where is my baby?
Lady, I'm just a puppet like you. My stage is a little bigger, that's all. Shaun's a good kid. So maybe he's not quite a baby anymore, but
So he's a little older
doing great.
than we thought.
only
He is the kid, the 10-year-old kid.
he's not here. He's with the people pulling the strings.
Of course he is. So the Institute.
Then you're gonna take me to him. Right now.
Take you to him. Like I could, even if I wanted to. Don't you get it? Your son. He's in a place nobody can reach. Shaun's safe. At home. In the Institute.
Yeah, I kind of figured that, considering you're working with synths.
So where is it, huh? This institute? How do I get there?
Haven't you been paying attention? You don't find the Institute. The Institute finds you. You open the closet, it's just a closet. You can never find the monster that hides inside. Not until it jumps out at you.
Well, I found one of the
But I think
monsters.
we've been talking long enough. We both know how this has to end. So, you ready?
Ready as I'll ever be, big guy.
Oh, I'm ready. Question is, are you?
Is someone
Right.
present?
Oh wow, that actually killed him in one hit, even without VETs. That's hilarious. I didn't think it was going to do that, but okay, here we go. I thought I needed a crit to kill him in one hit with that, but you know what? I'll take it. And now I'll take you! You get the crit then, instead of the man that killed my husband and kidnapped my son. I should have saved the crit, but I didn't think about it. Well, that was a little anticlimactic. Cathartic as hell, though, so I'll take it. Yeah, I figured this was probably the most appropriate time to demonstrate the kind of raw power we're dealing with when it comes to Yao Guairos, because if anyone was going to get a sledgehammer to the face in this story that I'm aware of, it would have been Kellogg. And that's how much damage we would deal to him with the sledgehammer. So, yeah, there you go. Actually, that might not even account for rooted, to be honest. So, either way, he's dead now. We gave him a very large bonk, and that was it. Now, what kind of clues did you have on you, big guy, to take me to the Institute? Let's see. 44 rounds. Cybernetic brain augmenter. Is that a chunk of his brain stem? Jesus Christ. What did they do to this guy? He's not even... I mean, he's kind of part machine now. It's like, not a synth, but something similar. I guess he had a frag grenade. I actually kind of like his outfit. It has this kind of Indiana Jones look to it, except for the cybernetic shoulder harness, of course. But I do like it. I think it's pretty high fashion. You can't modify it with stuff like Ballistic Weave or anything like that, but I think it's pretty high fashion. I'm trying to think if I should take it so that I can just kind of strip him naked and throw him in the corner to really embarrass him in the afterlife, but then we can take this outfit and toss it in the garbage can back at home. I think I talked myself into it. I'll take it. The real prize, however, of this entire thing is 3 stealth boys. Well, no, that is the real prize. As is the terminal password, but the real prize for our build specifically is Kellogg's 44 pistol. It is, in fact, a revolver. He actually already modified it slightly. It has a bull barrel and a comfort grip, which I don't think we gain access to these until Gun Nut 3, if I remember right. We need to modify the receiver and the sights a little bit, but the main thing about it is its legendary effect. It possesses the legendary, it possesses the legendary effect. Now, it possesses the relentless legendary effect. And what that does is it refills all of your AP when you use this gun for a critical hit. You've seen me use Righteous Authority. I'm sure you can understand if you put 2 and 2 together where this is going. We're going to be using that weapon pretty liberally. Well, not as liberally as Righteous Authority, but we won't need tons of 44 rounds because I'll pretty much only be firing it once per enemy. So, now, I know it's gross, but we do have to take these cybernetics that he had inside of him. He also had a pain inhibitor. I wonder if he had Doctor turn it off first.
All this tech. You were barely human.
Practically a synth, although, you know, maybe slightly above that. Here's another military-grade circuit board if you need it. A recorder. No thanks. I'll take the stim pack, though. I guess I'll take Robco Fun as well. It's worth 100 caps. It includes a holotape called Pitfall, which is basically just Pitfall, but with Pipboy. So I guess if you want it, you can use it. Take that purified water. Take the other stuff. Already looked over here. Oh, there's a bobby pin box. I didn't know that was there. Well, this is his terminal, so let's take a look at what he was up to on his terminal here. View access logs. Local login Kellogg notes the boy, Shaun, successfully delivered back to the Institute. Payment received. New orders to track down Renegade, gathered reinforcements, cleared out, and secured Fort Hagen. We move out soon. Track down Renegade? Is there someone working against the Institute on the outside? And how do I find them? Because they sound like they'd be very useful for me finding where the Institute is. Well, only one way to find out. I guess that's our next objective. Things start moving pretty quickly in the story at this point, so it's kind of hard to justify sidetracking myself. I was actually thinking about it earlier and saying, you know, is there any way I can justify me sidetracking myself for other things later? And really, honestly, at this point, not really, because we just killed the man that murdered our husband. And after this, the main thing we have left to do is just... whatchamacallit, just get to the Institute as quickly as we can, because we now know that Shaun is there. So now we just have to go there and find him and bring him home. But first we have to get ourselves out of here, so come on, Dogmeat, we gotta go. I gotta lug all these Institute rifles back to the thing so I can... Do I have enough room for that, Batman? How much inventory do I have? 282 of 390. I have enough room to take it back with me, but I don't know if I'd ever actually sell it, to be honest. Like, we have one, but I don't know if I'd ever actually sell it. I might just leave it where it was. It's in some random place, and I don't remember where it was. Economy Wonder Glue. I'm going to take some of it, actually. I'm going to take some of the glue, since Economy Wonder Glue is worth quite a bit of adhesive, so... I know in the future I'm actually going to need a little bit of adhesive, so I might as well take some of it. And I mean, that's 5 plus the other one that we got here. That's 7 out of... How much am I going to need for that thing anyway? Let me look at my notes. it's 15. I already have half of what I need because I took those. So there you go. If we went back and got the other Wonder Glue, it would get me to, 7, 9, but, or not 7, 9, 9, 11, 13, probably. I think that's how much there was. Come on, buddy, back in the elevator. I'm gonna close the door before you decide to turn around and run away. This is another one of those load screens disguised as an elevator ride things, so. Might take a little longer than a normal elevator ride, but that's okay. We did it, buddy. We avenged Nate. Not that that was something that I was too keen on. I mostly just wanted his murderer dead so that he could tell me where Shaun was. Didn't really... I mean, we got an answer, but we're not really much closer to finding him than we were before we killed Kellogg, which is unfortunate. But I guess at the very least we have, whatchamacallit, we have an idea. Why is the main theme playing? What the hell? Why is the egg carrier here?
People of the Commonwealth, do not interfere. Our intentions are peaceful. We are the Brotherhood of Steel.
Oh, I guess they finally called for reinforcements, huh? Alright then. Military frequency AF95. That's the same frequency from Cambridge Police Station. So they must have gotten the signal working up on the roof after we went to ArcJet then. Shadow of Steel. Listen to military frequency AF95. If you insist.
Repeating. This is Paladin Dance on frequency 95.
What about
All Brotherhood
Alpha,
Steel units
all
are
that?
returned to the Cambridge Police
Excuse me,
Station
buddy.
immediately for reassignment.
Oh, okay.
Repeating.
So, I guess since the Brotherhood's main ship is here now, that means that we would... I mean, technically speaking, we're working with the Brotherhood, so we should probably go back to Cambridge Police Station, but... I think now would be a good time to call it a night before we head back to Diamond City so he can send Nick our findings. Anything else that did I explore this place at all? Probably not, to be honest. I'm going to take a few things that I know I'm going to need. Ooh, more Wonder Glue. I must not have really looked too hard inside of this section, to be honest, because I left a whole bunch of stuff here. No, I must have looked over here because there's no pre-war money in the thing, so... take that. I don't think I need the gas canister. I think I've got enough oil just from the couple of things that I grabbed. Hey, Lifeblood, how you doing? Welcome back. We just killed Kellogg before you got here. We just got outside. The Brotherhood of Steel's main airship just flew into the Commonwealth. We watched it fly by. They want all the Brotherhood members to return to Cambridge Police Station, but it is the dead of night, so we're going to call it a night and then head back to Diamond City now that we got a little more information about where Shaun might be. So, let's put this up just so nobody gets any bright ideas. At the very least, I'll hear the cloth tearing if someone decides to try to shoot at me. Put the dog bed up. Where's my boy? There's my boy.
Hey. Go check that out.
See if he gets caught on the thing. Yeah, he got caught on the thing. Okay, hold on, buddy. I'll pick this up since you seem to be having some trouble.
Check
There.
it out.
Now go to sleep. Attaboy. Alright. Now we'll put the wall up. There we go. And then we'll put the tent up, and I'll go to sleep. Maybe I should put it like this way so it doesn't interfere with Dogmeat. I don't want him glitching into it again. That wouldn't be so good. Alright, so let's have a sleep. We'll get started at about 7:30. That way we'll have some time to wake up, eat breakfast, and fast travel back to Diamond City. You can go back the long way if you want, and you'd probably get there faster than you would if you know, just did the fast travel way, but we'll fast travel, it's fine. Alright, let's pick these up. Let's have some breakfast, and then we'll pet the boy, and off we'll go. We have some dirty water, so I can cook that once we get back for more purified water. I'll just have some baked bloatfly, that's fine. Resist some rads. Some water. Place the water when I get back. I'll put a silk bean in there too, why not? Might as well get rid of those. Okay, buddy.
Hey.
Wrong one. Yes, I know you're probably pretty sleepy. It's still 7:30, and we did do a lot yesterday, so hang on. There we go. Ready for another adventure? An adventure in fast traveling?
Heads up. Come on.
Alright. Take this, thank you. It's raining a little bit. That's cool, I guess. Alright, back to Diamond City. Let me see. Do I want to go back to home plate and put all my stuff away before going into the marketplace? Or do I want to go into the marketplace itself? No, I want to go to home plate first because we just got that new pistol. So I want to grab all of my gear that I can use to upgrade it with. Before I go into the marketplace, we'll upgrade it when we get there. And then we'll be good to go. Let me put away all my stuff here. Gonna take out the 50 caliber bullets that I have because, again, I'm... at some point, I'm going to want to do something with those. Not yet, but eventually. So, put away all this stuff. Oh, I didn't get a chance to talk about this when we got this last time. We got an incendiary minigun, which sets targets on fire for 15 points of damage. You might think, oh, okay, so it does that for every bullet, right? Not how fire damage works in this game, unfortunately. When you set targets on fire in this game, it applies that 15 points of damage, but it's a damage over time effect. It's 5 points per second for 3 seconds. So, when you shoot something, you'd expect that that would shred their health because they just get set on fire for a ticking 5 points per second for 3 seconds for every bullet. Not how it works. It refreshes the dot with every bullet. So fire damage as a result is not exactly the best energy damage in this game because it doesn't stack with itself. It doesn't refresh. The dot just, or rather, it doesn't stack with itself. It does refresh. It just reapplies the dot. So, not so useful. The other two AoE dots, or not AoEs, the other two damage over time effects dots are poison. I guess radiation could count as a fourth, honestly. Poison, bleeding, and radiation. A lot of things are resistant to poison and radiation, so I wouldn't recommend using either of those. But bleeding effects in this game are really good. Nothing in the game has natural bleeding resistance, and it stacks with itself. So if you have something that, let's say, does 5 bleed per second for 5 seconds, every time you hit with that weapon, it will apply a new 5 bleed per second for 5 seconds, which can stack up really, really quickly. So, yeah, that'll come in handy. Okay, so put all this stuff away. Anything I got in here? Yeah, this extra stuff from Nick that I don't need. I'm going to keep Kellogg's outfit because we're going to put that in the trash bin in about 2 seconds. Put away the jet and the Med-X. Keep that. Put this away. And I don't know if I'm going to need the Yao Guai meat anymore now that I've used it on Kellogg. I'm not sure that I want to bother with using it on everything else, to be honest. Can I actually sell this? I can. Okay. Well, I'm not really interested in playing it, so yeah. Gonna keep that though, and that. Got a bunch of stuff to sift through here. I need that biometric scanner. I've already got the other thing. I put the pre-war money away though. And then sort through all the ammo. Keep the 44. Keep the 50. Keep the 10mm. Don't know what I'm going to do with these flares. Put that away, put that away. I'll put this fusion core and mini nuke away in my ammo box. Alright, new magazine to stick on the thing here. Let's put that there. There we go. Put away the view from the vault stuff in here, since that's where I've put most of my... I should take the jumpsuit out, because this is mostly like the books and the stuff related to the books, so I'll put the jumpsuit upstairs, I think. Put Kellogg's outfit in the garbage. Again, I like it. It's high fashion, but I'd rather put it in the garbage because I think it's funny. And take these 44 rounds. Nice. We have 69 of them. That's good. Put these away. What else? We've got this stuff. I'm actually going to put the biometric scanner in here. That's one of the two that you need along with the military grade circuit board. So I'm just going to stick it in there and hopefully I'll remember that it's there. I'm also going to take out the hazmat suit because we're going to use that for something in a little bit. So I'm going to take that out right now. Stick this in here and then mostly just this stuff to put away. I think I have enough carrots and potatoes, yeah, to make 4 more Yao Guai roasts, so I guess I'll make that since I've got it. I think I've got a bunch of Yao Guai meat in there though. Did I put the roast in my inventory? I think I did. Yeah, I did. I wasn't paying attention. We'll stick that back. But I can make 4 more of those. I'll just stick the potato away. Stealth Boys, put some of those away. Radaway, put some of that away. Rad X, put some of that away. Don't need all this purified water. Put some of those away. I haven't gotten the chance to use that Nuka-Cola that's been sitting in my inventory for a while, so I'll actually use that for what it's supposed to be used for in just a few minutes. Let's see. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. So I need 1 more veg. And I need 2 more meats other than the Yao Guai roast. So, okay. Got it. I'll take the grilled red roach. And what do I want out of here? We got rid of all the wild corn. I guess I'll just take another silk bean. I'm actually going to take both of the silk beans and get rid of one of the potatoes. That's a wild corn, not a potato. There we go. So that way I can just stick all that in there and get rid of all the silk beans before I need to worry about them. Okay, so I think we're inventory sorted now. The only thing we've got left is the junk pile, which I'm going to take care of now that I've put away the biometric scanner and the circuit board, right? I didn't put that away. All right, let's put that away first. Then I'll sort through our junk. Okay, so now, buddy,
Heads up.
while I sort through this stuff,
Take a look.
go take a seat. There you go. Still tired, huh? That's fine. Alright, so let's see what we need to drop. We need to drop this and this. That's all raw materials. Drop these, drop that, drop that. Okay. Scrap these. Okay, that's what I thought I dropped. I was like, wait, was there something else? But no, there was nothing else. So for these, so I had economy wonder glue, 2 duct tape, so that's 5, 6, 7, 9, 11, 13. Okay, so I only need 2 more of that there adhesive. Got it. Alright, and now what I'm going to do is, I think I can grab all my stuff here and not be over encumbered. Yes, I can. Okay, good. I don't need all of this stuff, but I did need some of the stuff in order to put a receiver and a sight on Kellogg's pistol. I guess I should have just grabbed what I needed. As a matter of fact, here, let's do it that way. Let's put this away. We need 7 adhesive. I need 6 aluminum. 2 crystal. I know I've got some of that here somewhere. There it is. 4 glass. 5 nuclear material. That is a hell of a lot of radioactivity. It's a good thing I have it stored away in a can. 6 screws and 8 steel. So 6 screws, 8 steel. Got plenty of steel, so got a lot of steel to shape. No, wait, wrong game.
Look alive.
All right, buddy.
Moving out.
Let's go let Nick know that we've found some clues in the form of some gray matter. But that's okay. While we do the enhancements for my weapons here, you get to hear why I don't like doing weapon enhancements during the day, because it's during the day here in Diamond City, and now Everybody's going to be hawking, especially Arturo. He's going to be hawking directly in my ear. Excuse me, pardon me. I need to sort this thing. Okay, so in order to upgrade this 44 pistol, you need at least gun nut rank 3, and it goes as high as gun nut rank 4 for the advanced receiver. But as you can see, at gunslinger rank 1, it deals 100 damage with the advanced receiver, so that will be significantly more powerful than anything else we have. It's even slightly stronger than the sledgehammer, so that should tell you something. But we can't access it until level 39, so until that point, we will just have the hardened receiver.
Clip sizes, barrels.
This is the nice thing about the fact that Kellogg's already upgraded this, though, is he's already upgraded this with the bull barrel, which is a rank 3 piece, and then the comfort grip, which is not rank 3, but still, nice that he did that for us already. Let's put a sight on it, because that doesn't look unsightly at all. And now it's all fixed, so let's rename this bad boy. CB... It was Kellogg's pistol, but it's mine now, so...
Don't walk outside the wall undefended. High quality protection for sale.
I know. I've got an idea.
No skull in the league can withstand
Serial killer. There. Perfect. Couldn't be named anything else. Okay. I'm done making stupid jokes. Let's go to the... I'm going the wrong way. The detective agency's over here. Let's go let Nick know that we didn't find Shaun, but we found and killed Kellogg, so he won't be a problem anymore. And while that's loading, get rid of this in my notes and this in my notes. Save that. Go back to Fallout 4.
Come on, Nikki. I'm just asking for your opinion.
Sorry, I had to make sure I was on the correct, whatchamacallit there. Oh, while I'm thinking about it, let's do this. Finally put something in our 3 slot. So there we go.
Opinion.
All right.
It'd be a great quote.
She's my client, Piper. Why don't you learn not to snoop on a woman's private affairs?
Or you could just ask the woman herself.
You're back. And not with your son. What happened?
Well, not the worst possible thing that could happen, but, yeah, where in the hell do I even start?
Where do you want me to start? The part where Kellogg turned out to be working for the Institute? Or the part where he told me they have Shaun?
The Institute? Oh, boy.
Yeah, you're telling me.
Truly. That makes things considerably more complicated.
He ain't kidding. Heck, Nick's a synth, and even he doesn't know how to get in.
No synth does. Security protocols strip those memories out.
Oh, I was gonna ask how that works, but I don't know what the sarcastic option was, so we'll just ask the question.
You don't know anything, Nick?
I woke up in a junk pile ages ago. Just another discarded prototype. The Institute hasn't come calling since. I'm sorry.
Well, no, there's nothing
I've
you
been
can do now. I
investigating
just
this for
figured
over a year
maybe.
now. The Commonwealth's boogeyman. Feared and hated by everyone.
True enough.
Sounds about right.
Sometimes they snatch people in the middle of the night, and sometimes they leave old synths behind to remind us that they're out there. But to this day, there's one thing nobody really knows.
Where they are.
Where the Institute actually is. Or how to get in.
Fantastic.
But there's one person who has to know, right? The guy who just handed them Shaun.
Kellogg.
That's gonna be a problem. He did in fact have access.
And like that would have had access. In and out.
But...
Yeah, but I'm guessing he wasn't the surrender and talk type, was he?
No, he definitely was not.
He's dead, Nick.
So, a murderer and a kidnapper gets his brains blown out by an avenging parent.
Didn't get his brains blown out, just got hit in the head with a
It'd be a
sledgehammer.
great ending if we didn't still have the biggest mystery in the Commonwealth to solve.
My bad. I don't think I regret it. I probably did have a choice, but what do we do now?
So, what now?
Gets his brains blown out. Huh. His brain.
Oh no, Nick, where are you going with this?
We may not need the man at all.
You're talking crazy here, Nick. Got a fault in the old subroutines?
Look, there's a place in Good Neighbor called the Memory Den. Relive the past moments in your mind as clear as the day they happened. If anyone could get a dead brain to sing, it'll be Dr. Amari. The mind behind the memories.
And she can do this with his brain.
Who's this Dr. Amari?
I'll let her give you her life story in person. Let's stay focused.
Okay.
Guess we're gonna need a piece of Kellogg's brain. Enough gray matter to bring to Amari and find out if this is going to work.
Well, how convenient. I just happened to scrape out a chunk of it.
What choice do we have? We got no leads, nothing. That old Merc's brain just might have all the secrets we need to know.
This is gonna sound a little bit crazy, but...
Actually, I think I already have something. Kellogg had this thing attached to his head.
I just didn't feel like going all the way back to Fort Hagen to the basement to pull this out.
Whether we're riding this crazy brain train or not, we can't all go running across the Commonwealth. So, who's coming with you?
Dogmeat.
I have to go to the memory den either way if I'm going to introduce you to Amari. But if you want to head there together, just say so.
Well, I appreciate the thought, guys, but I gotta go it myself because otherwise I'll lose out on rank 2 of Lone Wanderer, so.
I'll head there on my own.
All right. See you at the den.
You and Piper should go together.
We're gonna get your boy back. Just a few more steps.
And
well, you two are out. I'm gonna do some more research. I'll be at the public if you need me.
Sounds good. A few more steps and quite a lot of other stuff. Hopefully those few more steps won't take too long to do. You two gonna stay here for now? I'm gonna go look at the detective cases board. I think it's over here. I don't know where it is. Ellie, do you know where the detective cases board is? Is it over by Nick's desk? Just because it's in my miscellaneous tab, so I figured I may as well.
Anything I can do? You just say the word.
I will let you know, Piper. I will let you know. Earl Sterling case file. And another Robco fund.
Excellent.
The Zeta Invaders holotape. Okay, well, as long as
something to peruse myself.
Nick didn't need those, so. Okay, well, let's check where the miscellaneous quest points me to if I put this on. Not talk to Bobby, we don't want to do that one. So, check the detective cases. So that would be the Marty Bullfinch case file, and probably the other one too, right? Yeah. Okay, well, sure, let's check them out, why not? Marty Bullfinch's holotape. Listen to Marty's holotape. Earl Sterling case file, I think I just took something else. This is an actual note. Case Earl Sterling's disappearance. Client Vadim Bobrov. Another disappearing act to unravel. Earl Sterling, 25-year-old bartender at the Dugout Inn. One of the owners, Vadim Bobrov, noticed that Earl hadn't been to work in a few days. Security was called in. No investigation, of course. The Institute took him as the unofficial word about town, like always. Vadim came into my office half drunk with a sob story about he and Earl went way back and that he just can't believe that Earl would get snatched up by the boogeyman. My gut says he's right. Earl didn't have any enemies, at least none with the motive enough to kill the guy. Not living with anyone either, so I'll have to see if Vadim or someone else at the Dugout has his keys. I'd rather not have to explain to security why I was picking lock on Earl's door if I slip up and get caught in the act. Okay, the disappearing act. So that's another one of Nick's cases that we'll maybe do later. There will be one point later on in the game where we'll need to... There's a quest that we can do later on for one of the factions if we end up falling back on them, where you need to wait a few days in between two of their main quests, so we'll use those few days to kind of clean out our quest log, I think. But for now, we don't have time for all this other stuff. We only have time for this stuff with dangerous minds, so we're gonna go do that. Is there anything else I want to do before I leave here? Let me see. I want to rename my hazmat suit to 5 hazmat suit, and I guess I want to make this dirty water so it turns into a purified water, because the dirty water isn't really going to do me a whole lot of good now, is it? I don't need to go this way. We'll be coming back this way later to have a chat with some of the other people who have the side quests in my inventory. In the meantime, Ten Pines Bluff is under attack. Help defend Ten Pines Bluff. Well, I'd tell you the story, but it's probably a long story. That's me, yes. Hi. So Ten Pines Bluff is under attack. You can go and help them defend Ten Pines Bluff, but that's why I built those defenses for them, is to allow them to do that off-screen while I go do other things. They don't get angry at you if you don't go help them. It will just roll, and the roll will determine whether they win or they lose. if they lose, I don't think if you never go there, I don't think they lose anything if they lose the fight when they're defending it. So I really don't see much of a point in even bothering to go, to be honest. But whatever. Anyway, before I forget again, let's actually use the Nuka-Cola that I've been meaning to use.
Thirsty. Doctor says I can't drink liquor no more. Cola. Need a Nuka-Cola.
You know that stuff is just as bad for you as
Nuka-Cola.
other stuff, right? I'm sorry, I have to say this line.
Drink some water.
Nuka-Cola.
It's so much better for you. Alright, stop whimpering, I have one.
Here you go.
Ah, thank you. Thank you.
You're welcome. And you get almost 100 experience for giving him a Nuka-Cola, so that's cool.
Hey, Sheffield. What do you think about coming to work for me?
Really? You mean it?
Sure, why not?
What do you say?
And once you have given Sheffield a Nuka-Cola, if you have an open location to send him to, you can send him to one of those locations and he'll end up being a settler for you. I don't know if I want to send him now, but it looks like I don't have a choice, so... Let's see, where do I want to send him? I think for now I'll just send him to Red Rocket. I was originally going to send him there anyway, so I guess I kind of want to... I guess I'll go set him up there while I'm thinking about it.
Maybe this will be a fresh start.
Maybe, although if you're going to have a fresh start, you might want to have some fresh clothes.
Don't be caught dead. Protection from Commonwealth weaponry.
You there! You need a genuine, authentic, custom-made hickory swatter.
Actually, all I need is a baseball bat.
I've got a few minutes to browse.
Feel that heft.
I would rather not, Mo. I would rather not. Let's find Sheffield a weapon, shall we? Barbed oak swatter. That sounds incredibly powerful. Don't ignore the damage that it shows there, though. That's the Yao Guai roast is still in effect, so that's why it shows so much damage. It's not that much. It's like 5 times less than that. He does sell the Rockville Slugger, though, so if you're looking for a melee weapon that is good for VATS, this one has 40% less action point cost in VATS, so that's pretty nice. I'm going to take this, though, and, excuse me, we'll give that to Sheffield, and I think, also, on top of that, we will, oh, did I not cook the Yao Guai roast? No, I didn't. Okay. Let's get that swatter for him. We'll give that to him when he gets there. It's going to take him a little bit to get there. I think he, yeah, he'll walk out of the place, and he might teleport straight there, to be honest, once he walks out of Diamond City, so. I think if he was out on the world map and you had to send him there, it would take him a little while to get there, because he'd walk there manually.
Hello. Have you been here before?
No, ma'am.
No, first time.
Thought so. Some ground rules. This isn't a charity. Clothes are for sale if you have the money. Otherwise, the door's right there.
Sounds like a plan.
No mooching. Got it.
Good. Now that we understand each other, welcome to Fallon's. Happy to show you everything in stock.
Kind of reminds me of that lady that used to help run the Red Rocket, that kind of no-nonsense person.
Sure. Let's take a look.
A paying customer. Finally.
Paying for a friend. She has a couple of metal armor pieces. The Champion's right arm has a similar effect to the Wastelander's piece that we bought, +1 agility and perception, but it's metal, so if you want metal armor instead, you could grab it there. It's light armor. I'm not a big fan of metal armor, though. I don't like the look of it. It's just kind of... It looks like kind of like medieval breastplate type of a dealie, but it's so rusty and gross looking. I guess it matches the aesthetic of the post-apocalypse, but I've never been a big fan, so, you know. What do you have in terms of a postman uniform? What would Sheffield be in? Would we put him in a postman uniform, or should I get him a suit? Or should I get him farmhand clothes so he doesn't get too dirty? I guess I could get him a flannel shirt and jeans as well, or loungewear. Longshoreman outfit. But yeah, I'm just looking for something for Sheffield so he can wear it. Pastor's vestments. I think he'd look kind of smart in a black suit and suspenders. He's not a pastor, but I think he'd look kind of smart in it. And then it'd be kind of funny if he decided to take a baseball bat out and swing it at somebody. So let's grab that for him. He needs a haircut, but I don't think you can give him a haircut, so maybe I should get him a pompadour wig as well. Let's see. Yeah, let's get him a pompadour wig as well. Thank you, Miss Fallon. I will put that to good use. Alright, so that's that. Now, do I want to go to Red Rocket first before I go? I know I just said I'm not going to get sidetracked because the main quest is doing this, but now that I had Sheffield go, I think... What the hell? Did you see her rocket across the thing there? What in the goddamn? I think I might actually go and take care of Sheffield just so he's not, you know.
Talk to Mo Crony. He'll fix you up.
He actually already did. So he's not in bad shape, basically. I'm going to need some fruit for him to grow, so he's in good shape there. Let's give him a couple of mute fruit trees. He wants Nuka-Cola. Let's just try to convince him that we know the Nuka-Cola recipe and it requires mute fruit, I think. See if that flies with him. Take all, because I don't remember what I need. I'm carrying too much and can't run. How much is too much? Oh, only one. Okay, so I can put a little steel away. That's not what I wanted to do. Transfer. There. Oh, I have these two things, and those weigh one. Okay. I'll just stick those in my treasure drawer that I can sell later. And that should do us good, and I should be able to walk again. Yes, I can. Okay. So, that takes care of that. Now, let's head to Red Rocket. Is he already there? Let me see. Like I said, once he walks out of the city, he might have just teleported there. Yes, he did. Okay. So, off to Red Rocket with all of this gear. We'll plant the mute fruit. We will put him a water spigot for him. And we will put out a turret, and he should be good. After this, we will probably head to... I'm trying to think where I should go after this, because I'm going to need to have a quick sleep so we can do the next super boss fight early enough in the morning. We might not be able to sleep for very long, though, considering... What the hell was that? Sounded like a fighter jet. Whatever it was, it exploded off to the southwest somewhere. Well, that was crazy. Who'd have fighter jets in the post-apocalypse? Maybe we'll find out later. I don't know where Sheffield is, so since I am not sure where he is at the moment, is there anything in this workshop? No, I took everything out, so that's fine. All right, so let's give Sheffield some stuff, shall we? Let's do a little bit of scrapping here in the thing. He can keep the radio and the weapons workbench, but let's, like... What the hell is that?
Hey, you disappear! No!
Where's the suicider? Why are you guys attacking up here? Isn't that a little not okay of you? Okay, sir, I'm going to use you as a flesh bag for your suicider friend. So I can do this. Sheffield, I hope you've taken cover! There's appears to be more of them. Okay, sure. Let's shoot this one. There we go. Just regular old super mutants. I don't know what the hell they're doing up here, though. Are you in this tree? I can't tell. Or is he behind this tree? He is inside of this tree. Was inside of this tree. Now he's not, so that should make it a lot easier to get rid of him. Dogmeat! There. Well, here's hoping that Sheffield was not here, because that suicider probably would have made quick work of him. Actually, I might need that nuclear material, so I'll take it. Yeah, I don't know where he is. So, since I don't know where he is, let's go back to doing what I said I was going to do originally. Let's clear out the garage so he can have some room to sleep and work and do all that stuff, huh? As I was saying before I was rudely interrupted. That's the wrong button. There we go. Okay, so scrap that too. Scrap that too. To give him kind of a corner. Cooking spit is out here. So we can leave that for him. Let's get rid of this. Mute fruit. If I was wanting to grow mute fruit, where would I want to plant it? Probably right around here. Resources, food, mute fruit plant. Here we go. I'll just put a couple of mute fruit plants out for him so he has something to do. There. So he's still alive because he just assigned himself to the mute fruit. I think he did anyway. No, don't want to store a plant in the workshop. So, let's back out, put some water down. Hey, still kicking. It's going pretty good. How's it going for you? I just invited Sheffield to a settlement, so now I sent him to Red Rocket. So trying to put things up for him so he's in good shape and not complaining about my lack of defense or any of that stuff here. So just putting that out before we head to Good Neighbor so we can continue with the main story. I'm going to need to find him to assign him to this, aren't I? Well, there's an easy way to find him. I need to put a bed down for him. Furniture beds. So let's put a bed down in this corner for him. That should be good. He'll be able to close the door if he wants to. Then he should be okay. So there's that. And then defense. We need defense as well. So find the turrets, defense, turrets. Yes, I know I need to assign a worker. I will do that in a moment. Game. Put this outside for him. Okay. Where am I at in the main story? We just finished up with Kellogg, so we are moving towards the memory den. That gives you a better idea of where we are. All right, so Sheffield. It is nighttime. He'll probably go straight for the bed. He's not assigned to the food, though. Maybe I should rest here because then it'll kind of like have him move towards either the bed or the other stuff. So maybe I'll take a nap and then he'll be available once that happens. So time for bed. And still kicking. Thank you for following. I appreciate that. Sorry, I don't have a notification on my chat there to let me know, so I gotta check it manually, and that requires me to pause the game. Dogmeat, you want to sleep in here for the night, buddy? We'll get some breakfast in the morning.
Look alive.
Hopefully not going to be in the way.
Wait there.
For Sheffield when he gets here. You're not gonna take a nap on your bed? There you go. He just needed a minute, that's all. And I need a minute because this bed is inside of the ground, you see. It's not even. There. Okay, that's good. Now, turn this off, have a sleep, see if this brings Sheffield here. I'm actually only going to sleep for 5 hours because I'm going to have to travel all the way back down towards Diamond City and then all the way over to someplace else, so. 10 Pines Bluff to successfully defended itself. See what I mean? You don't even need to go. Long as you have the defenses, it'll just roll for you. And if it rolls successfully, then you're good. I also just did that out here where I'm not sure if that was such a good idea because I just had all those super mutants explode themselves. So that's fun. Let's see here. Have some breakfast before I forget. Let's finish off this baked blowfly. I never did cook the Yao Guai roast, so I guess I might as well do that while I'm here. Silk bean, purified water. Cook some Yao Guai roast that I've still got sitting in my inventory. Meant to take that home. It's okay. We'll take it home the next time I go home, which is after I fight the next super boss, which is the next thing I'm doing. And once I find Sheffield... Sheffield, where are you? He might not be here yet. Oh, there he is.
Okay. Thank you. It's like I can finally think straight.
Well, let's not only have you think straight.
Can we trade a few things?
Let's have you to be able to successfully defend yourself. I'll see if I can remember to bring you any Nuka-Cola while I'm at it. So here's a Swada. And here's some pastor's vestments and a pompadour wig. Looking sharp, Sheffield. He looks goofy. I might take the pompadour wig off, actually, because he's kind of... Yeah, you know, that actually looks kind of better on him, honestly. So I think I'll just leave that the way that it is. But he should be able to successfully defend himself now.
I gave up alcohol after settling down here. Doctor said I shot my liver.
Well, that makes sense. It's probably better for you. Alright, so... Command. Walk over to the mute fruit plants that he has not assigned himself to. And assign. And there we go. Resource is now assigned. So now, he has everything he needs. Food, water, shelter, and defense. So he'll be good. I should probably get rid of some of this other stuff so it doesn't get in his way when he's trying to run out the doors. I think these tires weren't here originally, but they're here now because of that super mutant suicider that blew up. So that's fun. Anyway. Give my boy a pet.
Good boy.
And then, take him with me.
On me.
Okay. So that's good. Just gotta pick up his bed now. There we go. Alright, Sheffield, have fun. Like I said, I'll try to remember to bring you some Nuka-Cola when I can. Don't mind the bodies out here. Super Mutants orders? So this must have been some kind of Radiant event then, that they just randomly decided to come all the way up here. Let's see what it says. Kill, loot, return. You know, that makes sense. Carry on. Just blew up on its own, huh? Sure you didn't have a right hand in it? Oh. I may have had a small right hand in it, yeah. Just a small one. You know, I never did listen to Marty Bullfinch's holotape when I picked it up at Nick's office. I might as well listen to it now while I'm thinking about it, because I'll forget, and then it won't pop up in my quest log.
Bucket of bolts, it's Marty. I know it's been a while, but I came across a little mystery. I thought might get your circuits firing. You remember that ugly grasshopper statue on top of Faneuil Hall?
Oh, that's how you say that. I thought it was Fenwheel.
A note written by the son of one, Shem Drown. I don't expect that name means anything to you.
I know what quest this is. I just have never done it. I know the reward.
Did shit like that. Apparently, this note leads straight to the old guy's stash. I don't know what's in it, but I'd sure like to know if it's still there. I'm gonna go do a little recon on the hall. If you decide you want to get the team back together, you let me know.
Okay, well there you go. And that will start the Gilded Grasshopper, which takes you to Fenwheel Hall, and then eventually it will get you some of the coppersmithing works of the legendary Shem Drown. I don't even remember what that weapon does, but it's a melee weapon, so there you go. The reason why I wanted Sheffield to go to one of my workshops is because I actually did a little bit of research in terms of if I need to fall back on the Minutemen, what do I need in order to finish their quests. You need a total of 8 settlements in order to finish their quests. However, it's not just 8 settlements with nobody in them. Each of the 8 settlements needs to have at least one person in them with all of... I don't know if you have to have their needs met, but they need to have at least one settler in them in order for it to count towards that total. So by sending him to Red Rocket, I've added another one to my list. I'm not sure if Grey Garden counts because they're all robots, but I know Abernathy, Oberlin Station, now Red Rocket, Sunshine Tidings doesn't have anybody, Taffington Boathouse, and Ten Pines Bluff. All 5 of those will count towards it, so... Basically, by sending him here, I've sort of skipped a step in the later quests with them if I ever need to fall back on them. I'm not sure yet. I don't know who I'm siding with at the moment, but we'll figure it out later. For now, though, let's go test out that fancy new weapon that I got in Boston Common before we go to Good Neighbor, shall we? VDSG catalog number 8477. Free your mind. Gonna have to take a deep breath for this one because this is gonna be something. It will be a good stress test for Kellogg's pistol, that's for sure. Although, again, it is no longer called Kellogg's pistol. I gave it a different name. think Grey Garden does count, at least when Preston sends you there. Yeah, I think it counts when he does that. I don't know if it counts if I went there on my own, though. So just to be safe, I said, okay, let's just add another settler into another settlement so I don't have to worry about it, you know? So, figured it would be easier. All right, so we have pretty much most of my weaponry that I want all together. The melee weapon that I want actually is not this one at the moment. I'm going to talk about which one I want in a few minutes, but we need to get it first, so we'll get it in a few minutes. Until then, like I said, we have the new pistol. We have Righteous Authority. These two work very well in combination for a particular fight that we're going to be doing in a second, but before we do the fight, I'm going to put this hazmat suit on. It doesn't have any damage resistance, which might seem strange considering I'm about to fight a super boss, but the way that I'm going to fight him, I'm only going to need radiation resistance, so, excuse me, it'll work out better this way. If you'd like to see me fight a boss similar to this boss with just, basically just melee and, you know, not cheesing him to some degree, I did it in the last stream, and the stream archives are on my YouTube channel, so you can always check it out there. But, well, this isn't just a swan's pond. There is a swan in the pond, but it's not the swan that we were hoping for. So, we'll see how this all goes. Here's his pond. Dogmeat found something. This is one of the reasons why I want the hazmat suit, because it gives me plenty of rad resistance. He found a pipe pistol.
Bingo.
Here's another grognak. That's good. But all this stuff gives tons of radiation. If you're standing right here without the hazmat suit on, you'll take like 50 rads a second. It's nuts. So, oh, somebody had a dwelling over there. Maybe we can go see what they had in it. Are you really going for a swim in that goop? Seriously? Oh, here he goes again. Buddy, I don't think you want to find that. Well, at least he knows what his name is. This is Swan. He's a super boss. He's a super mutant behemoth. He's pretty tough. Let's see how Kellogg's pistol works on him, shall we? If you stand inside of his dwelling, you can use the stuff for cover and basically just avoid all his rocks. I don't think he'll ever walk up here, to be honest, so... Alright, I'm gonna need you to actually hit your shots there, Charlotte. I know we don't have the eyeglasses on, but like... There we go. So now, all I need to do is wait for my AP to refresh enough to use the pistol. And then... we can do this. Hit him with a crit. Probably knock his block off, and instantly refresh all of our AP. So now we can just keep shooting. So now you see the brutal, vicious, not hitting any of my VAT shots combination that is Kellogg's pistol plus a lucky effect weapon. It's nasty. You may now refer to me as Revolver Ocelot, because I'm gonna keep swapping weapons over and over again and just keep doing this. I would shoot his leg out, but I don't have enough accuracy without the eyeglasses on, so. Alright, we took care of his head. Maybe I'll shoot his leg out with just the crits. Wish you were as cool as Revolver Ocelot. I mean, it's kind of hard to be as cool as Revolver Ocelot. Let's not kid ourselves. So. Alright, go ahead and throw the rock. I'll hit your leg again. If you knock out a super mutant behemoth's leg, he will start hobbling around. I think it's just like a regular super mutant does. If you knock out both of his legs, I'm pretty sure he ends up basically like a ghoul. He just sort of stands pat and can't do much of anything, so that's cool. We're not going to get there with the leg. I'm just going to keep shooting him in the head, even though the limb is already done. It still deals the most damage, so... But yeah, that's the gist of how you use Kellogg's pistol. You do it with a lucky legendary effect weapon. Then you don't have to worry about not having a whole ton of 44 ammo. And you can just do this, basically. I'm going to spend the rest of the game in bullet time now. That's not true, but you know, so it's somewhat true. If I need to spend time in bullet time, I will. If I don't, well, I won't. Time to put him away. And that takes care of Swan. I'm not sure why he doesn't go into this dwelling. This used to be where he lived, so you would think he would come in here, but he just doesn't, so that's odd. However, he will always have a guaranteed drop on him, the Furious Power Fist. You know, these are kind of similar to something Charlotte's used before when she worked at Thicket. She didn't use these normally because Thicket Excavations had access to power armor frames, but once the guys over at Dunwich Borers ran out of money and didn't have enough money to buy power armor frames or repair them, they switched over to these to dig up the bedrock, so everybody got a training course in them, including the people at Thicket. So she'd have reason to use this. And this has the, obviously, Furious legendary effect. It increases the damage that it deals by 15% for every consecutive hit you use on the same target. It refreshes after 10 seconds, or if you hit something else. But it can deal as much as 150% extra damage by the time you're done swinging it away. Pretty nice. We'll be using it, that's for sure. I also wanted these 12 Swan boat fragments because those are worth about 5 fiberglass each, I think. So we'll never need fiberglass again for the remainder of the game now. That's cool. But yeah, we got Swan. Again, if you want to see me fight a super mutant behemoth with melee and not cheesing with Kellogg's pistol plus Righteous Authority, I did it in the last episode with the one over at Walden Pond, so. Interesting. Never knew he wouldn't go into his own house. You've used the army vehicle that's next to the pond as cover, but you remember correctly, he did a little bit of damage through the vehicle. Yeah, he can still hit you inside the vehicle, if I remember right. But as far as I'm aware, he never enters his own dwelling. I think you can also do that if you go inside of Park Street Station, but I've never been able to have him run over there. So, just do it this way. Experiment log J32, day 14. I'm going to read these out of order. Edgar Swan, day 14. My physiological evolution seems to have stabilized. The medical team says my muscle mass has more than tripled since the experiment began, and my neural efficiency has improved markedly. This particular strain of modified FEV has been a remarkable success. I appear to have received all the anticipated benefits without the typical adverse effects. My application to join the research team is awaiting the director's approval. Although further tests may be in order, I hope to assist with my own experiment in the coming days. So he went through this voluntarily? Let's read more notes and find out. Day 1. So I nipped a few cigs. Big deal. Smartasses may run this place. They can't just do whatever they want. I got rights. Trial worked out for me in the end. They agreed to probation. I stay inside for a month, write something every day, and they'll bring me all the food and water I want. They think this is punishment? Sure beats scrubbing floors all day. I don't think that's what they did to you, Mr. Swan. Day 6. Should have known something was wrong when they came back for more tests. Every bone in my body aches. I'm on edge all the time. Jittery. Can barely write, but my mind's just racing. Damn it, what's going on? What did they do to me? Injected you with this FEV by the sound of it. So that's just great. I guess I'll take the Med-X. There's a couple more notes if I remember correctly. I should probably take that aluminum canister, actually. Swan's note. That is not the one that I'm looking for. I think there's at least one more. So I'll look for it. Another missile launcher. Don't really need that. There's at least one more note, but essentially they put him in an experiment, whoever they are. I mean, you could probably guess who they are. And turned him into a super mutant using a modified FEV virus. And now, well, yeah, I don't know where the other notes are, so we'll just... Basically, he mutated out of control and turned into a behemoth. And then... You are Swan. That's all he could manage to write in the last moments of his existence. So, there you go. That's mortifying. Absolutely mortifying of the man to have happen to him. Am I still? Yeah, I'm still at the thing. I don't want to grab that missile launcher that's over there because then I'll be over encumbered because I still have all of my stuff from when I built Sheffield, his thing. So now before we head to Good Neighbor, let's go back to home plate. We'll put all this stuff away. And then we can go to Good Neighbor and go from there. Just finished taking out Swan in your own run. Stealth Sniper. One sneak headshot with a 308 at level 19 with Comex. That will do it, yes. Stealth is a vital part of Bethesda games. This is one reason why. Yeah, I tried not to fight him. I was trying to fight him with a more, I guess, interesting method. Something that's somewhat unique. I didn't see a whole lot of people talking about the synergy between lucky legendary effects and relentless. So I said, okay, well, I didn't see any video evidence of it on YouTube anyway. So I said, okay, if there's not really any video evidence of it, I'm going to make some. And the rest is history. That's how we got here. All right, so I got to put the roast away. Put that grognak away. It's got Kali on it. I'll probably keep that. So I have to scrap these belt fragments, though, so let's do that. First things first, though.
Check it out.
Just so you're out of my way. There you go. Okay, so let's scrap these. I'm going to put on all my other stuff again. I won't need the hazmat suit for a little while now. So, and also, we're going to put the Furious Power Fist on 4. I know I already took a point in the Big Leagues perk, and there may be a point later in the game where I'll decide, no, this thing has to go, and I'll consume Yao Guai Roast and bonk them over the head with a sledgehammer to send them into the stratosphere, but I'm going to try not to abuse that. And the nice thing about Yao Guai Roasts, if you're trying to avoid glitches, that is, or whatever you would consider the Yao Guai Roast boost, is that it does not affect unarmed weapons. So I can use the Furious Power Fist and not have over 500 damage with the sledgehammer. So I actually have to build up to my damage output, which I think is a little more entertaining, if I'm being honest. So there you go. All right, so what else? Put away some of the junk here. Put away the ammo I'm not going to use. Yeah, I'm not going to use missiles. I've got enough mini nukes. If I need something blown up with big ordnance like that, I'll just use the mini nukes. So, and then I got one more Rad-X to put away. I know I'm doing a lot of inventory management so far, but it's just the nature of the beast, really. I think this is a quest item, so I don't think I can put that away. It's just the nature of the beast today, honestly. Doing a few little things before we go too far here. All right, so mini nuke put away over here. Yeah, well, at this point we've got 5 mini nukes. Like, that's plenty. Shouldn't need too many more for anything else that I need to do in the game. If that much at all, honestly. Like, I'm not even sure. We might, that might be more than we need. So, that can be stored as junk. What else? 1 Rad-X I can put away. And yeah, I'll do that stuff later, I think. I'll just, I'll sort the rest of this stuff later. Let me just scrap all these junked items so they're out of my inventory, and then we'll be good. Where did I get that Boston Bugle? You know, I think I picked that up back at Red Rocket, actually. But yeah, like I said, one of the reasons why you want to fight Swan at some point anyway, it gets you a lot of fiberglass. And if you're using Ballistic Weave in some way, this is more fiberglass than I will need for myself and Dogmeat for the remainder of the game, basically. Like, I only needed about 40 something, I think, to make the rest of what I needed, and that's more than enough. So, there you go. One of the reasons why I wanted to do that. All right, let's put away our Yao Guai roast while I'm thinking about it. I think there's some in my thing over there, actually, as well. And what time is it anyway? 8:38. It's fine. I'll just go to Good Neighbor. It'll be the middle of the night. No big deal. Take that out. Put it away over there. I guess I might as well put the 1 Rad-X away while I'm at it. I only try to carry around 15 because they weigh a little bit. They only weigh 0.1 units, but we won't need more than 15 anyway. So, you know. Like, take them out just because you tend to cross through the commons a lot. Yeah, I do that on consoles as well. Like, I'm through the Boston Common a lot because I usually like walking through those areas. On PC, it's tough though because I've been having, like, it takes about a minute to load Boston Common most times when I go into that area. So I try to either stay away from it or fast travel around it if I can, just to avoid all the load times, basically. So, all right, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. And I'll keep the normal stuff. The wild stuff is a little easier to carry around because you can't plant the wild stuff for some reason. It's not plantable at a settlement. So, And I think that's about it. I guess I could get one more purified water, but then that's about it. Okay, so we're done with that. Now that we've gotten all that cleared up, we can head back to Good Neighbor. I could have probably gone back towards Swan's Pond because there's some super mutants and stuff up above this area by the old Granary Burying Ground. There's like a building near there that you can test out the Furious Power Fist and the super mutants there, but we'll have reason to test out the Furious Power Fist later, so I'm not really too concerned. It'll get done. Just try and take care of all this now so I can continue to focus on the main quest, since again, once you find and take out Kellogg, it kind of there's kind of some urgency then, you know. So all right, off to the memory den. Whoa. Another dead body?
Can't believe it. He looked just like Sammy, too.
Man, this happened in Diamond City as well, although we got to watch them gun him down there.
In this town, they got another thing coming.
What am I gonna tell his mother?
It's a good question. Hi.
Hey, just your friendly neighborhood watch. Shooting down Institute spies as they crop up.
Yeah, it looks like that.
What happened here?
Ah, poor Sammy got snatched up by the Institute. Then those bastards send this low-rent double in his place. It's pathetic. It didn't make it 2 days before everyone realized something was wrong with him.
Wow, really?
Then we made the call, and here we are. Speaking of which, I gotta figure out where this body needs to get dumped. Why don't you get going?
Yeah, that's probably a good idea. So either the people here are smarter than the people in Diamond City in terms of, like, being genre savvy of people being not themselves, or that was a very defective synth. Well, whatever. Anyway, into the memory den we go. Used to crash there constantly on your Xbox One. When you upgraded to the Series X, it hasn't crashed since. And that's what I've actually heard. I've heard that the games, like pretty much all the Fallout games, are very stable on the Series X. So that's good. Glad to hear it. If I had an Xbox Series X, I probably would have played it on that, but I do not have one, so had to take what I could get. And this is it. Hey, Dogmeat.
Hey, boy.
Before I forget about it, let's see. You've picked up a few things since the last time, including another combat knife that you won't need, 2 pipe pistols, and a pool cue. I'll just take those from you, and these eyeglasses as well. You need all these. Give me that teddy. I'm going to take that teddy. I'm going to store this in your backpack because, as I said before, it's just sort of a habit of mine to stick comically large objects into small storage containers now in this playthrough. So there you go. And give me back the teddy.
You building a collection or something?
Really, Nick? Off in the corner and you just know?
Mr. Valentine, I thought you had forgotten about little old me.
May have walked out of the den, Irma, but I'd never walk out on you.
Very suave.
Amari's downstairs, you big flirt.
So I guess that's where we're going, huh?
Nick.
Let's go talk to Amari.
All right, then.
Here for Amari. She's downstairs.
Thank you. I'll come back and have a chat with you once we're done, so I can find out who you are. I wish I had the same walk speed as Nick, because I feel like I have to keep, like the walk speed in third person in the vault was good, because you'd walk the same as the doctors, but out here, not so much. Not exactly a social call, no.
You're the one who can extract memories from a brain, right?
Normally, we only allow our clients to experience their own memories.
You don't want to go digging around in there. I've had a very traumatic experience. And then I had to kill Kellogg.
It's not going to be easy. The perp, Kellogg, is already cold on the floor.
Are you two mad?
Well...
That you're asking me to defile a corpse. You don't realize that the memory simulators require intact, living brains to function.
I mean, I have part of the brainstem. Is that enough?
Isn't there some way to make this work?
This dead brain had inside knowledge of the Institute, Amari.
So we're putting your life in danger now. Good luck.
You need this, and so do we.
Fine. I'll take a look. But no guarantees. Do you have it with you?
I put it in a jar, yes.
Here's what I could find.
What's this? This isn't a brain. This is... Wait. That's the hippocampus.
Okay.
And this thing attached to it? A neural interface?
Yeah, he was linked up with all kinds of cybernetics.
Awfully familiar.
I'm not surprised. From what I've seen, all Institute technology has a similar architecture.
Wonder if it's because they had main, you know, the same main person doing all that. So is this enough? Is it still intact enough?
So the brain is still good, right?
Possibly. There's no sign of decay, so the tech is probably preserving the tissue.
How does that even work?
Injecting some kind of compound to keep it stable.
From
But
where
there's no way to
exactly?
access the memories inside without a compatible port.
You're
Okay,
talking
so
about me, right? I'm an old synth.
Oh.
If the Institute built me out of similar parts, we might have an in.
That seems like a hell of a jump, but
I don't know
okay.
where to even begin with listing the risks.
Yeah.
Don't bother. I don't need to hear them. Plug me in, Doc.
You sure about this, Nick?
We should try plugging you into a toaster next.
That seems like a joke that lightens the mood, but
Nice
you know.
to know that even when I'm about to have a foreign object shoved into my noggin, you find new horrible ways to laugh at my expense.
We're plugging a brain into you, Nick. What do you think I'm gonna say in this situation?
If I start cackling like an old grizzled mercenary, pull me out, okay?
Yeah, that's a good idea.
I need you to keep talking to me, Mr. Valentine. Any slight change in your cognitive functions could be dire. Are you feeling any different?
There's a lot of flashes. Static. I can't make sense of any of it, Doc.
That's what I was afraid of. The mnemonic impressions are encoded. It appears the Institute has one last failsafe. There's a lock on the memories in the implant.
So, how do we unlock it? I'm not gonna be able to get a keyblade, so...
Is Nick gonna be okay?
Yes, the connections appear to be stable. Hopefully, it'll be as simple as unplugging the implant once we're done.
I hope so.
That doesn't get around the current problem. The memory encryption is too strong for a single mind. But what if we use two?
What do you mean?
Both you and Mr. Valentine into the memory loungers. Run your cognitive functions in parallel.
How does that even work? We're getting into magic at this point, aren't we?
Any idea of what I'm gonna see in there?
Am I gonna have to relive the murder of my husband and the kidnapping of my son?
We only have a single piece of the medial temporal lobe and not the whole brain. I doubt it'll be cohesive.
Well, most of the time dreams aren't, and that's basically what this is, so... Alright, sure, I got nothing left to lose.
Alright, let's get started.
Just sit down over there and keep your fingers crossed.
Okay.
See you on the other side.
Yeah, you too, Nick. Hopefully not in terrible shape, either one of us. Alright, Dogmeat, stay here. I guess help Dr. Amari somehow. Here we go! There was something similar to this in Fallout 3 as well, but honestly, it still felt like magic in that game to me, too. Like, I don't understand how any of this stuff could possibly work, but I don't think I'm intended to. It's kind of just one of those just roll with it things.
Between the transplant and the host. Mnemonic activity coming from the transplant.
Well, I'm glad you're having fun out there, Dogmeat.
We're going to load you into the strongest memories we can find. They might not be stable.
Yeah, hopefully neither one of us start talking like a grizzled old mercenary. I'd be in bad shape then. I'd have to go back to my house and dig Kellogg's outfit out of the garbage can and start wearing that around. I'd lose out on like 120 damage resistance.
Can you hear me?
I can hear you.
Good. The simulation appears to be working, although the memories are quite fragmentary.
Great.
I'll try to step you through the intact memories and hope we find one that gives us some clue to the Institute's location.
So is this just a visual to help me move around, or...?
This is the earliest intact memory I can find.
Okay. I guess I'll follow the neural trail.
Turn down the goddamn radio. I'm trying to
Remember, you are experiencing these memories as Kellogg. This may prove disorienting at first.
So that would make this kid Kellogg, then, huh? Oh, that's a Grognak, huh? Me. So Kellogg.
What's it mean, Mom?
Nothing, Connie. People like to talk and hope someone else is going to keep them safe.
Teacher at school said the NCR would bring back the good old days. Like before the big war.
Don't you listen to that twaddle. I'm going to stop singing you if that's what they're teaching you.
I think that's just
Where the fuck did you put my boots?
what the teacher was saying.
Listen to me, Connie. You
Whoa.
take this. You're old enough. You're the man of the family now. It's your job to protect us. Your father's useless, but you won't turn out like him. You're a good boy.
That's why I'm giving you this gun I
All that on
found.
the radio. All useless talk. The only thing that will protect you in this world is that gun in your hands.
Well, I'd like to call her kind of manipulative, but at the same time, in a world like the post-apocalypse,
I will, Mom. I promise.
she might be partially right.
I won't let you down.
You've always been my good boy.
This doesn't seem to be what we're looking for. There appears to be another intact memory close to you in temporal sequence. There.
So when it says access memory on those there, you can interact with them to have Kellogg give you kind of a color commentary on what he remembers from the pieces of his brain that you have. I didn't know that they would all disappear before that. I guess I could do it, but honestly, this part always felt weird to me because, like, we just killed the guy. So why do I need to know his life history? I mean, I know why we need to know his life history, but, like...
Fine. You'll see.
I just hope that they're not trying to do this to make me feel sympathetic to the guy, because...
Come on, Sarah. You've got to give
He killed your husband / wife, depending on who you play as, and kidnapped your kid. So, like, come on.
Nothing like that in the NCR.
It's kind of hard to sympathize with the guy.
No, I'm not saying this was a mistake. I'm just... Are you sure these guys know what they're doing? They seem kind of green.
I know.
Oh, good. And she's wearing the same outfit that I'm wearing. Fantastic.
Just wait. In a few years, I'll be running my own crew. As soon as I make the connections I need. Then I can give you anything you want. And little Mary, too. Whatever made me think that a guy like me should have a daughter? No, I never deserved her. Not for 1 second.
I never worried about
Then why did you go about kidnapping another person's kid? Like, what did you think was going to happen?
Who knew I had those, huh?
Come on, you're great with her.
Oh, before we get too far...
You don't need to worry about me.
Yeah. This is
just security for the sheep.
in San Francisco.
Around looking tough. I thought San Francisco was my chance to start fresh. I was the hot shit, the gunslinger from the hub, rolling into town with the world at my feet.
Didn't really
Everybody knew I was the one who
work out
shot
for you, though, did it?
I could write my own ticket to any outfit in town.
Why didn't you then?
It all worked out pretty damn well. For a while.
Maybe he did.
No, they sure picked the right person for that job.
Listen, it's gonna be great here. See this? This is what's gonna keep you and Mary safe.
I hope the safety's on, dude. You're pointing that right at her.
I know, Connie. I'm sure we're gonna be really happy here.
We are. You'll see. That's okay. I got it.
Let's keep looking. I'll connect you to the next intact memory.
So we get to hear at the end that he did have some clout with his child at the very least, because she stopped crying and started giggling, so I guess that's good, at the same time concerning. I mean, she obviously didn't know what her father did for a living, so, you know.
How did you think this was gonna end, Kellogg? You thought you could just fuck with us, and we wouldn't fuck with you?
And who are we referring
Just so
to
you
here?
know, they died like dogs. And you weren't there to help them.
His family. Thought he was a gunslinger. Why is he using an assault rifle?
I'll connect you.
again, it feels like me to some degree that they're trying to make you sympathetic toward the guy, but again, we just killed him and he has no bearing on the story after this whatsoever. So, like, I feel, I mean, I sympathize for his situation, but the later we get, the less that becomes
Sit down.
pertinent because of all of the things that happen here. And all the things he already did.
So, I hear you'll take care of people's problems. Is that right?
If you pay me.
Oh, we'll pay you.
Like, I feel like if they did this before we killed him, it would have been more effective. I don't know how they would have done that, though.
When the job's done. Is that okay?
That's the way you want to do it. So who do you want dead?
Well, it's like this. There's his family. Lives down the creek a ways.
Well, we seem to be getting closer. Try this next one.
We're getting closer to Boston, maybe. I don't know if he was in San Francisco anymore, but hopefully one of these will eventually lead us to Boston.
Mr. Kellogg.
Ah.
I'm glad you decided to meet with me.
The Institute.
So, you're with the Institute. I wanted to see for myself if you really existed.
Trying to get a good look at this agent. She looks a little familiar, but I'm not sure if it's supposed to be the person I think it is.
Rather disruptive of our operations lately. This must stop.
I do what people pay me to do. If that's a problem for you, I could see only one way out.
And what's that, Mr. Kellogg?
Killing everyone in this room?
I'm working for you.
Oh.
There's no more problem. From what I hear, you can afford me.
I don't think you fully understand the situation you're in.
You do see all the robots that are working for her, right?
Very well. B748. Initiate.
Critical failure.
Yeah, had a feeling he was going to do that, actually.
Impressive. We may have something to talk about after all.
Getting warmer. One of these has got to tell us something.
Well, that tells us he was working for them.
There's one that looks mostly intact. Connecting now.
Okay. I think they were trying to draw parallels to Soul Survivor, which could apply depending on what sort of monster the player's leaning on RPing. I suppose, yeah, like it's kind of like a we're not so different, you and I type of a deal. And I mean, considering the fact that you've been all over the wasteland killing hundreds of things on the way here, it's like, yeah, I can see the parallels. I don't know, it just doesn't mesh with me. I think the reason why it doesn't mesh with me is because I'm doing it because Bethesda put the gameplay in front of me. He did it because he chose to. You know, like I guess I could have turned the game off, but...
Cryogenic stasis.
Oh, not this again.
Vault computers are still working. That's good. Checking through the logs. Hopefully it's all...
The eggheads never liked taking orders from a dirty, contaminated degenerate like me. But they needed me. And I made sure they knew it. Find it.
Pod C6. Down the hall near the end.
We all know what's in Pod C6.
I'm glad I didn't have to kill the kid. I'm not saying I haven't done it, but, I never like to.
Well, now you're just starting to sound like a sociopath again.
Better than taking his kid and leaving him alive.
But you left me alive. What the fuck? Again, hell hath no fury, Kellogg. What did you think was gonna happen to me? You could have... Okay, I guess he couldn't have just killed us because he had his orders, but... Doctor, am I gonna have, like, some sort of critical stress reaction to watching this happen again?
Almost. Everything's gonna be fine.
Why would you even say that, man?
The Institute's main operator in the Commonwealth. If they needed something done, they came to me. It wasn't usual for anybody from the Institute to come along on a mission, so this one stood out.
And you managed to keep them alive all the way up here?
Who it was we were grabbing from the vault. Of course, Neither did they. Not really.
Come here. No. Come here, baby.
I don't think I can watch this again.
I got him.
Let the boy go. I'm only gonna tell you once.
I was knocking on the glass pretty hard, wasn't I?
God damn it.
Okay, well,
get the kid out of here.
I didn't have some sort of neural shock reaction to hearing that happen again.
Even then, I knew it was a mistake leaving her alive. I understood that kind of revenge. No one better.
Well, yeah, you did the same thing
But
when
I
your
was
kid
cocky enough
died.
to assume I could handle some soft, pre-war vault dweller, even if she somehow got thawed out.
I feel like you just didn't play this
At least
very
I know
well.
those Institute bastards will soon get what's coming to them, too.
I mean, at the rate I'm going.
She could take me out. They won't be able to hide from her for long.
Do have the tenacity for it, don't we?
Cryogenic sequence reinitialized.
What's the holdup?
I'm almost finished, Kellogg. I just need to confirm.
Confirm what? That you gave him shaken baby syndrome when you took him from my husband, you jackass?
I'm sorry you had to go through that again.
I hope you've got some good tech at the Institute, because you better have fucking fixed that.
Whenever you're ready.
Whew. I'm ready. Just had to get that out of my system again. They could have administered a knockout drug to Nate and then refroze him as well. Yeah. Then they would have had two people to worry about. I just feel like kidnapping someone's kid just wasn't going to work out for them no matter how they spun it, unless the kid was the only one alive. Maybe they should have looked for like a cryostasis kid that was like a teenager or something. Like, did Miss Rose's boy get in here? I feel like he would have been pretty good for them. I mean, I'd hate to send another kid to the Institute, but then they wouldn't have had to take mine. It's a very pre-conventional way of looking at it, I suppose.
Your son?
It is,
This appears to be
think.
a very recent memory. So, good news, I think.
Is that why the color balance is more saturated? Sure he is, Travis. Also, why are you so,
Kellogg.
quiet in
It's
there?
okay. One of these days you're gonna get your head blown off just barging in here like that. The new breed of synths could easily pass as human.
Yeah, if they didn't dress like they were in the Matrix.
But the coursers, they weren't built to blend in. They were killing machines, pure and simple.
I can see that.
Smarter, stronger, and faster than almost any real human. I'm just glad they were always on my side.
Minimizing my exposure to civilians is a priority.
Yeah, I feel like that would have been a smarter thing to do, still kicking, is if they had just, like, I don't know, been like, hey, we just need a DNA sample. I mean, I don't know if I would have given them up then anyway, but, you know. It would have caused the least amount of collateral damage.
Name's Dr. Brian Virgil. We know he's hiding somewhere in the glowing sea.
The glowing
Here's his
sea?
file.
Alright, before they get too far ahead.
Wasn't my idea to settle down with the kid in the middle of Diamond City. I thought it was a terrible idea, actually.
Surgical journals.
But it was one of the
My
old
little
man's
baby boy might grow up to be a doctor.
So here we were, me and the kid, like a happy little family.
You'll forgive me if I don't believe that for a second.
Kind of liking it. A reminder of what my life might have been if things had turned out differently.
Yeah.
But there's no going back. I knew it was just temporary. It'd be back to normal business before too long.
Hey Marie, how you doing? Welcome back. We are in the simulation. We killed Kellogg near the beginning of the episode, and in order to figure out how to get into the Institute, we had to take his cybernetic brain implants to the memory den, where we could plug into his memories and figure out how he got to and from the Institute. And if that sounds like complete gobbledygook to you, well, it kind of sounds like gobbledygook to me as well, but that's where we are, so we're going to roll with it.
Some heads are gonna roll for this. Capture and return, or just elimination?
Elimination. He was working on a highly classified program.
A kind of highly
No
classified
kidding.
program.
One of the top bioscience boys?
Hmm.
Damn. This whole setup in Diamond City was part of some elaborate plan of the old man's.
The old man. So who he's
Seems
working
obvious
for.
now that we were bait for our friend from the vault. Timing couldn't have been an accident. It's not how the old man works.
Well, who is he? The G-Man?
I wonder if he outsmarted me in the end. Another loose end tied up. So, I guess you're taking the kid back with you.
Affirmative. Your only mission is to locate and eliminate Virgil.
You're taking me home to my father?
Yes.
Your father?
Stand next to me and hold still.
You didn't tell him? What do you think is gonna happen? He's gonna become John Wick when he grows up. Stand next to me and hold still. What does that mean?
X688. Ready to relay with Shaun.
Bye, Mr. Kellogg. I hope I see you again soon.
What?
Bye.
Did they just beam up? Okay.
Teleportation. Now it all makes sense. Nobody's found the entrance to the Institute because there is no entrance.
How does that even work?
Let me pull you out of there. As soon as
They invented teleportation technology? Okay. No, I think I have to go through one of these doors? Oh no, I have to interact with the TV to get her out of here. Yeah, or to get me out of here. Yeah. Just imagine he just becomes Batman. Yeah, the fuck? They invented teleporting. Okay. Well, sure. Why not? Alright, now if I get out and start talking like Kellogg, just shoot me
I don't
already.
know what kind of side effects the procedure might have had. No one's ever done this before. How do you feel?
I'm okay, but how's Nick?
Am I okay? Are you seeing anything?
Yeah, the Brotherhood of Steel would like to know your location.
But I honestly
They want that teleporting technology.
As I said before, this is uncharted territory. But your neural and physiological readings have returned to normal.
Okay.
From a medical standpoint, you're fine.
It's just the trauma that I have to live with. Well, there's a lot going on here. Am I gonna, like, get to say all of these things? I guess I'll just start with this.
I saw Kellogg's life. The man who ruined my family. The man I killed.
That's right. He was a human being just like the rest of us. And he had reasons for being what he was. However cruel.
Yeah, see, this is the part where I'm thinking that they're trying to put a damper on it with, like, the sympatheticness to the player. Like, I just don't know. It just doesn't land for me.
I'm not sure, Doctor.
I don't know if there's any right way to feel.
How in the literal fuck did they come up with teleportation tech during the nuclear apocalypse? I guess we'll have to go there and ask them.
Institute's greatest secret, teleportation.
When they can't even be bothered to pick up most of the pre-apocalypse trash in the streets. Yeah, like, you'd think that would be a priority as well. Anyway, let's talk about this Virgil guy.
That scientist Kellogg was supposed to track down. Virgil. We need to find him.
You're right. A rogue Institute scientist could answer all kinds of questions.
Like how to get in.
What did the memory say he was? The glowing sea? That doesn't make sense. No one goes there. Not even if they were desperate.
Listen, I've known a few seas in my day, but where's this glowing one exactly?
Why? What makes the glowing sea so dangerous?
The name says it all. Radiation.
Oh.
So much that nothing there could possibly live. Nothing pleasant. Navigating radioactive hazards is nothing new. But the glowing sea can kill a man in seconds.
It's a good thing I have a hazmat
Doesn't
suit.
make sense. Virgil fleeing into that hell. The exposure alone.
Again, what if he had a hazmat suit then? Although it's probably the perfect hiding spot considering he's trying to stay, lay low from the Institute. Why would they go there?
That's why he's there. To make the Institute think twice about following him.
That must be it. He's using the radiation in the glowing sea like a shield or a cloak. A way to throw them off and be at an advantage.
Right.
If Virgil found a way to survive there, you'll have to do the same. If you're going to follow him.
Great. So hazmat suit, but hazmat suit won't protect me from the monstrous eldritch abomination nightmare monsters that probably live there now, right?
How do I fight that much radiation, Doctor?
There are chemical compounds. Rad-X, Radaway. You'd need as much as you could carry. Maybe more.
I'm not worried about the radiation so
Environment suit
much.
would be great if you could find one. Or maybe one of those suits of power armor. That would be perfect.
You know, I think I have an idea.
I'll find a way to get through the rads. Don't worry.
Good luck. And be safe.
That's a hard ask,
I unplugged Mr. Valentine.
considering what's going on.
Remove the implant while you were waking up. He's waiting for you upstairs.
Okay, I hope he's doing all right, considering. Buddy, I don't know about this. She didn't mention the location of the glowing sea, but I'll just show you. Let's go to the map. We got to talk to Nick in a second, but the glowing sea is down here. And if we look closely at this section right here, that's where the bomb hit. Like in the intro, when we watched the mushroom cloud before we went into the vault, that's the impact site. So the glowing sea is not really a sea, it's just ground zero for the nuclear annihilation that we faced here in Boston. And it is home to some of the nastiest creatures that have ever mutated in the wastelands since the apocalypse happened. Which is part of the reason why that whole suit of power armor thing is an interesting concept that I'm definitely going to look into a little bit more, because I happen to know a few people who would know a few things about power armor. But before we do that, let's level up, shall we? Alright, we got to level up. Like I said, I already put a point into big leagues, but now that we got the Furious Power Fist, I'm going to put points into Iron Fist. Again, there may be points in time where I'll be able to use this if I ever feel like leaning on Yao Guai Rose to just make the game easy mode, but we'll use Iron Fist instead. Actually, like using the Furious Power Fist a little bit better in terms of like using it as a weapon. It's a little faster than the sledgehammer, so we're gonna try that instead. All right, so I mean, I'm walking around okay, so that's a good sign. Let's go see if Nick is walking around okay. Miss Irma, was Nick okay when he walked through?
Accepting new clients right now, sweetheart.
Yeah, I just was one, so I don't need to worry about that.
Irma.
Oh, enjoying yourself in Good Neighbor? It's a heck of a town, ain't it?
It's definitely interesting. More so than most of the nuclear waste that I've seen so far. Nick?
Hey, Valentine.
Hope you got what you were looking for inside my head.
Oh.
That was right. I should have killed you when you were on ice.
Kellogg, are you still in there?
Is that you?
What? What are you talking about?
Did you have some residual stuff in the back there, Nick? Because,
You sounded like Kellogg just then.
Did I? Huh. Mari said there might be some mnemonic impressions left over.
Well, be careful who you shoot when those mnemonic impressions take over. Do you know anything about the glowing sea?
We have to head into the glowing sea. Any advice?
Yeah, don't take dog meat.
I'm a synth, so radiation isn't much of
As much as I'd love to have Clifford the Big Red Dog in the nuclear apocalypse, I have no guarantees that he will mutate into Clifford the Big Red Dog,
buy
so...
up all the Rad-X and Radaway you can find from any chem dealer who's got it in stock.
Just imagine what that would do to my liver! I'll go it alone, Nick. Again, I'd risk 2 points in Lone Wanderer if I take you, so...
I'm gonna head out on my own from here, Nick.
Good luck out there. You know where to find me.
I do, yes. I will let you know. Hey, Metroid, how you doing? Welcome back. Good, you joined just in time for the biggest wasted opportunity in this game. If you're talking about the glowing sea, I do like the atmosphere of the area. It is kind of empty, though, if I'm honest, but we'll get there when we get there. I don't currently have the proper tech. I do have a hazmat suit, but I don't think I have the proper tech to deal with whatever nightmare creatures have decided to make their home there. So in order to prevent myself from having to deal with nightmare creatures with no defense, I have a plan. It's already daytime.
Whoever this Brotherhood of Steel is, I'm not buying that. We come in peace, malarkey.
I mean, you're right, especially considering they don't like ghouls at all. So just be careful with those guys. If you see them, don't let them try to recruit you. It won't work out. Trust me. Don't you have like 2 or 3 suits of power armor? Yeah, I have one back in Sanctuary and one over here at the National Guard training yard that I haven't picked up. I think, if I remember right, this one's the one that wasn't a complete set, though. There was a complete set at the training yard, but you needed to get through an expert lock to get it, and I didn't have that. So instead of that, let's go pick up an upgrade by going back to Cambridge Police Station, shall we? Excuse me. So yeah, let's go report to Dance because, well, the man lives in power armor, so I feel like he'd be the best person to tell me, hey, so how do I get some power armor, buddy? Like, some good power armor. Oh, the residual Kellogg inside of Nick thing? That could have been real interesting, but it's just 2 lines of dialogue and never again. Yeah, I feel like they could have done something with that, honestly. Like, have Nick get taken over or something at some point, and you have to do something to snap him out of it. Could have been interesting for character development situations, but, well. So much for that, I suppose. You sound like a crack addict and you don't even use power armor. That's true, I don't use it normally, but for a situation where I'm going into a death trap full of more radiation than my Geiger counter can probably measure safely, I think I'm going to make an exception. How are you addicted to power armor and not Mentats? Well, there's a Dictol for the Mentats, so. There's no Addictol for power armor, you see. Speaking of power armor, hey look, the Brotherhood got here.
You must have spent a whole case of ammo holding this site.
You have no idea.
Missed all the fun. No one's gonna move on this place now that the Pridwin's in town.
Where is the Pridwin anyway? I'm guessing that's the egg carrier that we saw earlier. Well, I guess Dance can let us know. I mean, Nick gets plenty of good character development with both his companion quest and Far Harbor, but it would have been nice. Yeah, and that's true. He does get a pretty decent amount of development. It's just, it would have been one extra thing to add to it, you know? Like, maybe it could have gone into his companion quest somehow. Why would Kellogg harm you? He's already dead. No point in revenge. Not that it can be called that. It's not a matter of him harming you. It's a matter of him forcing his way into another person's brain and remote controlling him like a puppet on a string. That sounds like a nightmare, honestly. That's a big gun he's got there. That was a Gatling laser. We won't have access to that for a while. Dance?
Cavalry's arrived. And it looks like they sent in the big guns.
A whole ass airship. Where did you guys even get that in the apocalypse?
That ship. I've never seen anything like it.
I mean, amazing. I've seen something similar, but
our ship.
That one burned up.
She's loaded with enough troops and supplies to mount a major offensive.
And didn't have helicopters strapped to the bottom.
Elder Maxon's here. And that means we're going to war.
So who's this Elder Maxon guy?
Who's Elder Maxon?
Maxon is the commander of this division
We'll,
of the
we'll
Brotherhood.
sort out the war thing in a minute.
He's
This
the
is a lot to
model of what
unpack.
every Brotherhood soldier hopes to become. If we're going to war, I can promise you that he'll be leading the charge. That
Okay.
being said, you're about to get to know the Pridwin up close and personal.
I am.
I've received orders that we're both to report to her immediately.
Oh, okay.
Follow me up to the roof of the police station. We're going for a little ride.
Do I get to go on to helicopter? Oh my god, he's sprinting off. Never mind, he slowed down to wait for me. Dogmeat, we're going for a ride. I don't have a car for you, but maybe this will be an effective substitute.
Joining our cause was the wisest decision of your life, sister.
I'll see that for myself in a minute, I'm sure. Oop, hang on. That Bethesda thing happened where I have to walk away from the door because it was in use when I tried to open it. So now I have to walk away and then walk back, and now I can open it. So if you ever can't get through a door in this game, or in Skyrim for that matter, walk away from it and then walk back to it after the person who was using it is done using it, and then it'll let you through. I don't know why that happens, but it's consistent across several Bethesda games. So it's realistic. The door in use or the helicopter. We're gonna find out in a minute if it's the helicopter, because I gotta load in, but after that. Can't use the door if someone else is using it. I mean, you could just shove them out of the way. Except you can! We are going for a ride on the helicopter. Where's Dance? Maybe he already got in. Alright, buddy. You're gonna need to hop and skip and jump a little bit to get in here, but off we go. I think he's in here with me. Can I see him? Yes, I can see him. There he is. Look at him ride the helicopter with me. You want me to use this minigun? I mean, you guys already scared them half to death with your gigantic airship. I don't think I'm even going to bother firing at this thing. I don't think this vertibird can go down. I think it's scripted so it has like infinite health or something. So
It never ceases to amaze me how drastically your perception of the battlefield changes from the air. We're gonna need that.
do you just see everything as a battlefield dance?
They've already proven that they're technologically superior, which means there's no telling what types of weapons they'll have in their arsenal.
Well, I just learned of a new weapon they have, but I don't know if it's a good idea to tell the Brotherhood what it is, because they'll probably go on a crusade. This guy you're talking him up quite a bit. I hope he lives up to the expectations you're giving him. Wink, wink. I think it has to do with players. The companion should hold the door open for you, but yeah, that would be funny and nice as well.
By rumors and misinformation, they don't realize that the Brotherhood of Steel is the Commonwealth's last hope for survival.
You know the Commonwealth has
Woman and child below is in mortal danger.
people in it other than humans, right, Dance? And you guys don't like anything other than humans. You're very purist in a situation where it doesn't pay to... Is that a naval ship? And that's not any naval ship either. That's the USS Constitution. How in the goddamn did it end up on top of all these buildings? It's right near Bunker Hill. We might have to go check that out. Good lord. Okay, sure. Anyway, let me go back to chat. I think it has to do with players and NPCs using the same script to go through doors, so it's actually in use. Yeah, you're probably right about that. Like I said, it just seems to be consistent across multiple Bethesda games, and that's just kind of funny to me, because you'd think they would have fixed that or something, but... Why do they have a Gatling turret on the damn helicopter? I thought they were getting rid of tech or hoarding it or something. Who maintains that thing? Those guys! At Boston Airport. Yeah, I guess if you're going to have an airship fly in, the airport's a good place to go. So. What happens if you don't pick a faction? I don't know. I've never played this game past the Glowing Sea, so... We're almost to the point where I have no idea what's going on anymore. Probably get there in a stream or two, after I'm done with getting my power armor suit from the Brotherhood here. Hardy ship. It survived a nuclear blast with all its masts intact. Yeah, it's a hell of a ship.
All right, soldier. This is the moment when everything changes. I hope you're ready.
Should I buckle in for the reapplication of the helicopter to the landing pad? I don't know how to feel about this, because I'm sure Nate was on helicopters like this at some point in his life, but this is probably Charlotte's first time. I'm just going to hold very tightly to the minigun and hope I don't fall off. Hang on, buddy. Take my hand. Wow. Okay, well, it was almost bad. How do I get out? Is it, Yeah, okay, it's the same thing as power armor. Alright, cool. The Pridwin! We're here. Brotherhood don't hate tech, they just don't trust humanity at large to handle it because they cause the apocalypse, so they hoard it. It's true.
Aboard, sir?
That is one of their MOs.
And welcome back, Paladin. Allow me to be the first to congratulate you on a successful mission. And is this our new recruit?
Yes, sir. I field promoted her to Initiate, and I'd like to sponsor her entry into our rankings personally.
Initiate isn't a real rank, is it? You just did that to make me feel better.
Maxons approved your request and placed the recruit in your charge.
Okay.
Thank you, sir.
Well.
And my current orders?
You are to remain on the Pridwin and await further instructions.
Very good, sir. Ad Victoriam, Captain.
Ad Victoriam, Paladin.
And what would you have me do, Lancer Captain?
You're the one Paladin Dance has taken under his wing. You don't look much like a soldier to me.
To be fair, I was not one. Was married to one, so sorry to disappoint you, I guess.
Sorry to disappoint you.
Sorry? A little soft around the edges, aren't you? If you want to earn your place among the best, you need to toughen up.
No, I'm just used to, you know, having actual tact when I talk to people since I was a lawyer.
You might expect an endorsement like that to grant you a great deal of latitude with us. But let me make one thing clear. The Brotherhood of Steel has traveled to the Commonwealth with a specific goal in mind. As the captain of this vessel, I won't allow anyone to jeopardize our mission, no matter how valuable they think they are.
Well, I don't know how valuable I think I am to you, but what's the mission that you're here for? Does it have to do with the Institute? I mean, I feel like this is a silly question, but...
What exactly is your mission here?
I'm not at liberty to say.
Of course you're not.
Elder Maxon will be addressing the crew shortly, and I'm certain all of your questions will be answered.
All right, then.
Was there anything else, or was everything I said understood?
No, I got it. I don't think I'll pass this. I didn't eat a great mentat, so I'm not going to pass this. I'll just get it from Maxon.
That's all for now, soldier. Your orders are to proceed to the command deck for the address, after which Elder Maxon wishes to have a word with you. If you have any questions, ask me now. Otherwise, you're dismissed.
Elder Maxon, power armor, my orders. I mean, I'll get this in a minute. My orders, Dance will tell me. Power armor, well, that's what I'm here for, but I'm sure I'll get that later, so... Actually, I'll ask about it. Why not?
Yeah. Where can I get power armor?
Only knights are allowed to wear Brotherhood power armor. And you're no knight. Not yet.
Damn.
Until Elder Maxon grants you that title, you'll have to make do with what you've got.
So go back and get my frame that I've already got then. Fair enough. No, we'll get to knight soon enough, so we'll be able to actually take advantage of the power armor that they give you. And it's better than the power armor that we've been able to get out in the wasteland so far, so that'll come in handy for us. The Brotherhood... Oh yeah, I already read that one. Just realized you have unopened copies of the Uncharted games because they came with your PS3 and you didn't really like them. Same with Infamous 1 and 2. You should sell those. They're probably worth a decent chunk of money, to be fair. I don't know. I've only ever played Uncharted 1 and I was like, yeah, I guess it's okay. Infamous 1, it was okay. Infamous 2 is my jam, though. That's like, I really enjoy that game. We'll talk about it when we get there. Soon. Watch out for Dogmeat. He likes base jumping without a parachute. I don't think the canine harness that I downloaded will save you from fall damage, buddy, so don't go base jumping on me unless you ask me first, okay? Then I can strap you to the top of the power armor and we'll both not take any fall damage. About 2 missions away from power armor, if you remember right. Yeah, we're not too far away. These missions I've done before. It's just every mission after the glowing sea I have not done. I know a little bit about the couple of missions that happen after that, but everything after the glowing sea, other than if I decide to go visit the railroad, I've done their first mission, but everything after that I haven't done before, so. Oh, Infamous 2 is amazing. You meant the Uncharted games. You literally opened one, started it, and hated it. Don't even think you finished the first mission after the tutorial. Yeah, Uncharted 1, if that's the one that you started with, it's rough. Uncharted 2, I think, fixes a lot of the problems, but Uncharted 1's a little rough, so.
The road behind has been long and fraught with difficulty. Each and every one of you has surpassed my expectations by rapidly facilitating our arrival in the Commonwealth. You have accomplished this amazing feat without a hint of purpose or direction. And most impressively, without question.
That's not the right way to live,
it is
but
time to reveal
okay.
our purpose. And beneath the Commonwealth,
oh,
there
he
is
cut
a
himself
cancer,
off.
known as the Institute. A malignant growth that needs to be cut before it infects the surface. They are experimenting with dangerous technologies that could prove to be the world's undoing for the second time in recent history. The Institute scientists have created a weapon that transcends the destructive nature of the atom bomb.
They have?
They call their creation the Synth.
Oh.
A robotic abomination of technology that is free-thinking and masquerades as a human being.
You have to forgive me. I still think the atom bomb's a little more destructive.
That a machine could be granted free will is not only offensive, but horribly dangerous.
Where did you get that impression?
If it isn't harnessed properly, it has the potential of rendering us extinct as a species. I am not prepared to allow the Institute to continue this line of experimentation. Therefore, the Institute and their synths are considered enemies of the Brotherhood of Steel, and should be dealt with swiftly and mercilessly. This campaign will be costly, and many lives will be lost. But in the end, we will be saving humankind from its worst enemy. Itself. Ad Victoriam.
Uh-huh. Don't salute for him, you idiot.
Ad Victoriam.
Sorry,
Ad
you're not an
Victoriam.
idiot, but don't salute for him. We don't know that we're working with him yet.
Choose through ferals like paper.
Why would you use a minigun for a feral ghoul? That's overkill.
We don't take prisoners.
And how would I know they're a synth? Anyway. Yeah, if you bring Dogmeat along for the speech, he salutes Maxon there. It's scripted for him to do that, so. Yeah, shoot him. Break the timeline. You can shoot him. It will just turn you into an enemy with the Brotherhood of Steel for the rest of the game if you decide to do that, so. Love how they fixed Melee in Infamous 2 just by giving you an extension of your arm. Yeah, that was nice. Melee in the first game was pretty bad. Fun fact, Maxon as a child in Fallout 3 was very peppy about reciting Brotherhood doctrine. I think that upbringing hardened him too much. I don't know what the hell happened to Maxon. I played Fallout 3 at the end of last year, partially in preparation for this project, because I kind of wanted to see some of the characters that show up again in this game, and one of them, the main one that I was really looking for, was Maxon here. He's some 10-year-old kid who was a recruit in the Brotherhood of Steel back then, and I very distinctly remember having a conversation with him where he talked about liking the way the Brotherhood did things in Fallout 3. And in Fallout 3, they were pretty much morally good. They were trying to not, like, they were still on their whole technology hoarding kick, but they were using the tech to try to better the capital wasteland by purifying the water in the capital wasteland so people could actually live there without getting radiation sickness. He sounds a little different now. And I don't think I like it. You've never brought Dogmeat here? Yeah. Well, that's what he does, so.
Elder.
I care about them, you know. The people of the Commonwealth.
You know that includes ghouls and super mutants and everything else, huh?
If you say so.
I can understand your indecisiveness. Turning your weapons on the very same people that you're trying to save can be a bitter pill to swallow.
I'm not really seeing how you could do that to them unless they give you no choice. And, I mean, I don't know if they gave you no choice at this point. Doesn't seem like it.
What do you want from me?
I want you to start taking responsibility for this planet. To start making a difference. And from what I've read in Paladin Dance's reports, you've already begun that journey. Seeing as he's one of my most respected field officers, you couldn't get a better recommendation.
Glad to know I went to the right college, Maxon.
I'm granting you the rank of Knight.
Ah.
And, befitting your title, we're granting you a suit of power armor to protect you on the field of battle. Wear it with pride.
Well, that was easy. Staples button. Sorry, I don't have a Staples button. Not a paladin. No, not really doing that. But I'll just take it where I can get it.
I'll do my best to live up to it.
I'm certain that you will. In any event, once you're finished becoming familiar with the Pridwin and my staff, report to the flight deck for your new orders. Welcome aboard the Pridwin, soldier. Make us proud.
I will attempt to, although I don't think I'll be able to glitch my arm into my body like you just did. Alright, let's go meet the crew. In case it wasn't obvious, this is not Skies of Arcadia. We will not be swashbuckling anything aboard this airship. They're very strict here. Wish we had more in his backstory. Something clearly got him riled up. From what I remember, he looked up to one of the... I think it was Sarah Lyons. She was like the next in line to be the elder of the Brotherhood in Fallout 3. And she was like younger and peppy, and her grandpa or father or whatever was really old and practically kicking the bucket when you found him. But his doctrine was what led the Brotherhood in Fallout 3 to be more morally good. And I think if I remember right, she died like in a very sudden way when he was like 14, if I remember the backstory correctly. I don't know how that would have caused him to be like, no, fuck any and all technology and ghouls and super mutants and everything else. It just seems like a big jump. That's all. I don't know.
Congratulations on the promotion, Knight.
Oh wow, word gets around fast. Thank you. Yeah, that was faster than you remember. Yeah, faster than I remember too, to be honest.
So how did it look out there?
We've got a lot of...
I know this guy.
Well now. Wondered when I'd see you again.
You got all cleaned up, Randus. Good to see it.
Welcome back, Paladin. Welcome home.
Glad to hear someone say that.
No one's told
Listen,
you
I
that?
didn't have a chance to thank you properly before.
But you have so much knowledge that you can share with the people that are here.
Been away for too long. Maybe I'm not cut out for the Brotherhood anymore.
Now you can't be wishy-washy now, Brandis.
I owe it to you and to my team. Thank you for giving me another chance.
You're welcome. I think he's supposed to give you a weapon, if I remember correctly, but I've never gotten it to proc with him. I just wish there was more to Brandis than that as well. I think that little dialogue is all you get for convincing him to come back. Again, I think he's supposed to give you a weapon as well, but I don't know if he does that until later or if he ever does it at all. But I feel like they could use him for something more. Like, he can't be an elder because that's a rank that you get to by fighting, but he could be like... Not a scribe either, because that's also a rank and that requires you to go out in the field. Like, he could do something that doesn't involve being in the field. The impression that I get from the way he just talked there is like, well, I'm glad somebody said welcome back, is like they don't want him here anymore. And it's like, what the fuck? He's been here for 3 years all alone. He's had mental breakdowns. Like, can you treat your soldiers with some respect, please? Hello? Knight Charlotte is going to dual-wield miniguns or something. Oh, if only I could. I'd put the heavy weapons skill in as well. You know, I thought about that, actually. We got an incendiary minigun from one of the legendary enemies I fought last time. I didn't really talk about it. There is a modification you can make for the minigun called the Shredder. And if you're looking for an easy way through the game, put that on the minigun. You don't need to put any other mods on it. You need to have Gun Nut 2 to put it on. Put it on that thing. It becomes a portable chainsaw, basically. You just keep spinning it, and that's it. Everything dies. Now, the incendiary option wouldn't have been the best for that because the flames don't apply to every spin. It only refreshes the dot. But if you found something that was a little bit more effective in that department, I think the Lucky legendary effect applies to it, if I remember right. So, or just a regular ass minigun and just level up the Basher perk in the perk chart. Hang on, I'll show you in the perk chart if we go down. It doesn't get its effects from any gun skills or anything. You just need Gun Nut 2 to put the Shredder on. The only, the only perk that increases its damage is the Basher perk, and you can increase that up to 4 times to as much as double the damage, have an increased chance to cripple your opponent, and it can also randomly inflict a critical hit. It's easy mode. If you've never used it, try it. It's easy mode. All right, still kicking. Take it easy. Thanks for joining for the stream. We'll see you. Don't remember how she dies. Think it's during Broken Steel or right after. Yeah, I don't remember either. Again, I think I mentioned it before, Metroid, but I had to basically speedrun Fallout 4 because I played it on the PS3, so I didn't get a chance to play any of its DLC, unfortunately. Maybe I would have found out a little more if I did. Oh well. Anyway, Dance.
Paladin.
There you are. How did it go with Elder Maxon?
He seems like more of a dickhead than I remember, but not in character. He's very dedicated.
He's a very dedicated man. It sounds like he stands behind everything he's saying.
For better or for worse.
How could he afford not to? I just hope you appreciate how much of a chance I'm taking, bringing you into the fold this quickly.
I'm surprised that you managed to get me up here.
But if you screw up, we go down together.
I will try not to let you down then.
I won't let you down, Dance. I promise.
Good. Now, I know you're eager to hop into a suit of power armor and take the fight to the Institute.
Boy, that would be nice.
But first things first. In order to be an effective part of the team, you need to learn your way around this ship and get to know its crew.
Probably a good idea, so I don't piss anybody off by accident.
I'd recommend taking me along with you.
Again, definitely don't want to piss anybody off when they have all this ordnance and stuff like that. I appreciate that, Dance, but the word would have already gone around. I'll go it myself. I don't want Dogmeat to get lost.
I'll go it alone for now, and come find you when I'm ready.
Suit yourself. I'll be in the mess hall if you need me.
Sounds like a plan. So yeah, once you've completed Shadow of Steel, Dance can become your companion if you want to take him along. I actually do want to do something with him. I'm not sure if the game will let me do it, but I do want to do something with him after we're done with all these missions here. There's something that you want to do with him so that you don't run into problems later if you side with a certain faction, if I remember correctly. So, yeah, hey Dance, he knighted me, now what? Alright, Dogmeat, don't mess with the cat, okay? I know you're not a big fan of the cat, but don't mess with the cat. We gotta talk to everybody else first.
We have to spread the word of the Brotherhood across the Commonwealth.
No, he's just chatting in the
Proctor
mess hall.
Quinlan?
Ah, good. You're finally here. Just set the books down anywhere. I'll get to them as soon as I can.
Listen, I have a lot of overdue tokens, but that doesn't mean that I'm a scribe.
I think you're confusing me with someone else.
Perhaps I need to rummage through the supply bins for a new pair of glasses.
To be fair, Dogmeat
Since it's
had
obvious that you
some,
aren't who
so.
I was expecting, would you mind telling me why you're here?
Meeting the crew, learning my way around. I'll just say meeting the crew.
Maxon wanted me to meet the crew.
Dance is
You were
nice.
next
He's
on
got
my
a good
list.
story later. I've heard good things about his I was going to say loyalty mission, like this is Mass Effect 2, but his companion
Under
quest,
normal
so I haven't
circumstances,
played it, but we'll see.
I'd provide you with a proper orientation of my department. However, I'm woefully behind setting up research patrols and getting bombarded with requests for technical documentation.
Well, that makes sense. You're in a new location, and you just got here.
Personnel needed to get the job done.
How does it feel to willingly join a tech cult? Like, it goes completely against my morals, but they have the power armor, so, you know, research patrols.
What exactly is a research patrol?
Simply put, we send a small two-man team to scout a location and evaluate its technical and historical relevance. Saves us from sending an entire retrieval team to a worthless location.
So you're throwing their lives away if it is a worthless location. I don't want to say I could help because I know it's going to add a quest to my quest log, and I don't particularly like Proctor Quinlan.
What type of technical documentation are you looking for?
That's the loaded question, isn't it?
Interested in collecting information that might assist us with our current mission.
So stuff that would tell you how to get into the Institute, or
if it
that.
contains any type of useful data, we need to get our hands on it.
Just ask me, buddy. I know you want to.
If you want my help, just ask already.
I wasn't aware you were interested, Knight.
I'm not! But this game won't let me say no!
For blueprints, memos, manuals, books, charts. Anything containing useful technical data. I'm authorized to pay you for each bundle of documents that you recover. And if you wish to be assigned to a research patrol, I have plenty of them waiting to be filled.
I'm sure you do.
It was a pleasure to meet you, Knight.
I was really hoping, okay, it did add something to my quest log, but it's in miscellaneous, so I can practically ignore it. As far as tech cults go, you could do worse. Yeah, I suppose that's true. I mean, I would rather join the Brotherhood in Fallout 3 than Fallout 4, but...
Glad you finally stopped by,
you
soldier.
know.
Are you ready for your medical exam?
Oh yeah, I guess I need to be examinated before I go inducted into the Brotherhood, huh?
What kind of medical exam? I feel fine.
There's nothing to be alarmed about. I just have a few simple questions about your medical history. It's my responsibility to make sure that you don't bring anything up here
Says a
that
lot.
would pose a threat.
Adeptus Mechanicus? I don't know what that is, but it sounds
medical-related questions.
interesting.
I'd like you to answer me to the best of your ability.
Sure.
First question. As a child, were you ever exposed to radiation for an extended period of time?
As a child, no. Definitely not. Before the war, vault tech screening, check your records before the war.
There wasn't that much radiation around before the bombs fell.
This always knocks people's socks off, so...
What?
Oh, is that the tech cult from Warhammer? Okay, gotcha.
You were a vault dweller?
Yes, sir.
You're probably healthier than anyone else aboard.
So I'm going to be an anomaly in your data,
Just
huh?
down the list of questions. I'm sure you understand.
Fair enough.
Okay, second question. Have you ever had or come in contact with a person confirmed to be carrying a communicable disease?
So do I have an STD? No.
Never been seriously sick in my life.
Good, good. Third question. And please, answer honestly.
I love when they
Have you ever
preface
had
questions
sexual
with that.
relations with any species considered non-human?
No.
Those species aren't my type.
I find the practice highly distasteful myself.
I'm sure he's referring to ghouls
Would you
and
have
stuff
any
like that
problems
too,
pulling
though,
the
which
trigger
just...
on an enemy of the Brotherhood, whether they're human, formerly human, or machine?
This sounds like a morals question. Hang on, I need to drown my morals. I'm trying to blend in. No problem.
Nope. No problem whatsoever.
Fallout door dialogue. 1 yes, 2 yes, 3 yes sarcastic, 4 yes, but later. Yeah, that's about right.
I see no reason to prevent you from beginning your duties immediately. If you ever need medical assistance, you let me know.
Okay, so we have a doctor on board. That's good. I don't know how much time we'll be spending here, but that's good.
I'm pleased we were assigned to the same team. I think we can learn a lot from each other.
I think he's talking to me, but...
Supposed to report 10 minutes ago. If you can't fix it...
I can fix it. You're the one who decided to kick your way through a Mirelurk.
Oh.
Got it.
You jammed your suit in a Mirelurk?
I owe you.
Fair enough.
I'd gladly lay down my life if it keeps humanity from repeating the apocalypse.
I'm sure you would,
believe
Tech
synths
Cult
replacing
Associate.
humans with exact-
I want to go talk to Ingram last, because I actually really like Ingram. She's one of my favorite characters in the game. So we'll talk to her
Everyone
last.
night, even though they've locked me in this blasted
Yeah, Fallout
cage,
2's talking Deathclaws, though, just
promise
saying.
that I won't bite.
I would love to have a conversation with a Deathclaw. Maybe I should play Fallout 2 one of these days. Are you in the cage because of the ordinance?
Why are you in there?
I'm glad you asked. Now, this is the stowage depot, and I, as you probably already guessed, am the ship's quartermaster, Proctor Tegan.
You have no idea how much I have to hold back making an Elmer Fudd joke after hearing Stowage Depot. I know it's a real thing, but
If you need to stock up on supplies,
it just sounds like
head
Elmer
out on a
Fudd
mission.
saying
This is
storage.
the place to buy them.
Okay, so you want me to... Well, I guess I'm a... You know, I'm a knight, but... You know, whatever.
I'm glad you
They need the caps, I guess, to keep themselves going. I'm not going to argue with them. Again, trying to blend in.
The good news is by having a constant flow of caps, I'm able to buy whatever you bring me.
So you'll get more ordnance in exchange for my
anything.
ordnance.
Of course, if you're just looking to make a few caps on the side, I might have some extra work for you to do.
I don't want some extra work, actually. It sounds suspicious, though.
Caps on the side, huh? Doesn't sound like official military business to me.
That sounds like the lawyer talking again.
And it isn't.
Can you rob the Brotherhood blind? Yes.
Complicated.
You can break right into their armory and take everything you want. I forget if that makes you an enemy of their faction forever or not, though.
And since
They'll
I'm
probably
stuck up
shoot
here
you if they
manning
find
this
you.
one
I mean, if you're
zoo,
stealthy
I need
enough, you can
someone to
probably
do
do
the
it.
legwork for me. After you're done with the meet and greet, we can discuss the details.
So basically, this vendor is off limits forever. Got it. Because he won't vendor with me unless I do the quest for him. Fair enough. Actually, I think he has a couple of unique legendary weapons for sale as well, but nothing that I'm interested in. Okay, now time for my favorite character in the Brotherhood.
Recruit I heard about. Not what I was expecting.
What were you expecting exactly?
What were you expecting? The last batch of recruits we took on were wastelanders. Dirty, beaten up, looking for a handout.
Well, can you blame them?
Desperate and looking for an easy out. You look like you're here for a reason.
I suppose that's fair. I am here
Came
for a
down
reason,
here to
so...
meet me, we may as well get it over with.
Get what
My
over
name's
with?
Ingram, and this lovely little grease pit is where you'll usually find
Oh,
me.
just the meet and
If
greet.
your
Because she's the
armor's
power
too
armor
hot,
specialist.
A good one's about to crash into the ground, or a robot's gone haywire.
And a tech
you
specialist.
come see me.
Sounds like a plan. What do these options even mean? I should have installed a mod that told me what each line was going to say. Oh, well.
Is this where I get my power armor? Ha! That's always the first question from the new guys.
I mean, can you blame them?
Let's see. I just fixed up a pretty decent T-60 suit. The left leg actuator's a bit sticky, but it'll keep the creeps off of you.
Awesome.
It's sitting in Bay 3. There isn't a day that goes by on this tub without 5 or 6 things breaking down. And since I'm stuck in this rig, I'm not quite as spry as I used to be. The work tends to pile up.
Yeah, in case you didn't notice, I guess I didn't look down, but she doesn't have any legs. She is a duoplegic? I forget what that's called. Seems like you're doing all right for yourself, though.
Actually, you seem to be getting around really well. I suppose it's better than the alternative.
Yeah.
Anyway, if you need any work done on your power armor, feel free to use the workshops around here. Now, if you'll excuse me, I need to get back to work.
All right. Thanks, Proctor. Also, yes, Ingram's great. One of the best characters in the game. Yeah, I definitely enjoy her quite a bit. She's pretty good. Probably when they catch you, otherwise probably not. Yeah, if they catch you, they probably would. So, this is not my suit. Where's my super suit? Here's my super suit.
Welcome aboard, sister.
Thank you. Let's get into the super suit. They even give me a free fusion core. I was afraid I would have to go back to my house and get one. I don't have to.
Time to suit up. I think
Every time you get into power armor, Dance gets like +10 affinity. It's kind of funny, actually. So you could just keep getting out and getting into the power armor. I think there's like a cooldown on it, though, if I remember correctly. So you can't just keep getting in and getting out and expecting it to work out for you. So, Alright, so we have to go downstairs to report for our next mission. Show no mercy, meet with Elder Maxon. I'm actually going to call an audible, though, because the stream is almost over. And I actually want to go do something before we get moving here. So, at this point, like I said, we've gotten a few legendary weapons. I've got the combination of Lucky and Relentless legendary effects, which is super busted. It turns me into Revolver Ocelot. We've got the Wastelander's Friend. It's kind of the weak link in the bunch, but it does give you extra limb damage, I suppose. And we've got my melee weapon that I'm going to probably get to... Well, I won't get to test it out in the next mission unless I get out of the power armor, because you can't use unarmed weapons in power armor, unfortunately. I guess I could just punch them with my fists, to be fair, though, because, like, I have the Iron Fist level 1 perk, and I currently have 12 strength, so that will probably do a pretty solid amount of damage, all things told, anyway. But let's say you're in a situation where you don't have, like, the ability to get weapons that are guaranteed to have the right legendary effects on them, like these two. Let's say you're maybe using a different build, and you've got different weapon subjects that you want to use, and you're not really sure how to get the legendary weapons that you want, or you just want a legendary effect that's not on a weapon that you can find in the game without getting lucky. There is a way to farm legendary weapons, and I will let you know how to do that right now, because I'm probably going to do it in between streams, to be fair. So, Dance just has sparkly eyes. This power armor is so cool every time you get in the armory. There you go. Alright, Lifeblood, take it easy. We'll see you on the next one. Power armor is an unarmed weapon. Yes, I am the weapon now, as you can see. So yeah, we'll call an audible. This method is how you do it with any indoor locations. I just want to make sure that's clear. There is another method you can use for outdoor locations, but I've never gotten it to work for myself. I'm going back to Concord. Not from here, apparently. I guess I have to get out of the Pridwin in order to go, so maybe I'm not going to do it. But I guess I can kind of just demonstrate the method. Because, am I going to do it in between streams if I can't get out from here? I might not be able to get out from here, so I might not be doing this just yet. Maybe we should go talk to Maxon first, and then we can figure this out later. I just don't want to do it on screen when I'm trying to, like, go to the Glowing Sea, because as soon as we're done with the next mission, we're going to the Glowing Sea, so. What happens if you have 3 or more power armor suits stored up? The most recently used one is the one that shows up on the map. The rest of them don't show up on the map, so. I don't know if I should have walked through this door, because he's probably going to start talking about this.
When it comes to keeping the Pridwin running,
like, right now. Or not, because he's down there. Dogmeat found something. Back inside? Oh, okay. Well, they're already shooting. That's a great sign.
Meter like that. Now split the difference. Now half that. Do you want to do it? No, I think you've almost got it.
You know what? Here's what I'll do. So here's how we'll do this. So,
thank you, Scribe.
Maxon's waiting for us to give us our next orders. I'd like to go do a legendary farming thingamajigger. Maybe I'll wait to do it until after the next episode of Fallout 4, the stream edition, when we'll have a little bit more time to actually go and do it. Again, I would have liked to have gone and found what I wanted to do and shown it off on screen before the next episode so I could have it for the Glowing Sea, but I think we might still be able to get through with my current weapons. I'm not actually 100% sure about that. Well, I guess I can check like this. Can I fast travel from here? I know I have to get my orders from Maxon, but now that I'm outside, can I fast travel from here? Yes. Yes, I can. Okay, we're doing it live then. We'll come back and get Maxon's orders in a little bit. I don't know how the hell I got off this thing without talking to him first, but we'll come back. What happens if you just keep walking to the sanctuary? Imagine if someone goes there one day and finds half a dozen suits of power armor. Yeah, that would be an interesting find. That's why I always remove the cores from the armor you aren't using, otherwise people in settlements will grab them. Yes, that is true. If you don't take the keys out of your car, someone else will jack your car, and as far as I'm aware, you can't get them out of your car without console commands, so good luck. I'm probably going to alert every raider in Concord now by doing this. There is a reason why I want to go to Concord specifically, though, and I'll tell you what that reason is in a minute, once I make sure I get past this without any alerts happening. I'm going to walk just to be safe and sure, since I'm in power armor. I'm probably going to take the power armor back to Diamond City before I go back to the Pridwin, to be honest. Don't mind the shooting. That's just another faction desperately trying to get my attention. So, all right. So what I like to do before starting this whole thing off is making a separate hard save. So I like to do that, even though we're going to quick save immediately after that. So this is how you farm legendary items in any indoor location. I make a hard save first. Come to your indoor location that you want to go to. In my case, it's Concord Civic Access because of a very specific reason I'll talk about in a minute. Make a quick save. You want to make a quick save specifically because it saves the game quickly, and I mean, duh, but it also lets you load the game quickly. It saves you on load times when you reload. But do that before you go into the interior location. Once you get inside of the location, it will generate an autosave inside of that location as long as you have save on travel on in your options menu. So then we can start the farming method. The reason why I wanted to go to Concord Civic Access specifically is because directly inside of this part of the Civic Access, it's the sewers to be fair, there are rad roaches. Now rad roaches can never have high level gear. They can only have stuff up to level 15 if I recall correctly. But there's a pretty high chance that one of the 3 rad roaches directly next to the entrance here will be a legendary rad roach. So then you can kill him in one hit. There's a third one like right here. I'm going to preemptively hit him because I know he's there. Check your item. We got a Junkie's submachine gun out of him. So if it's not the item type that you want, which this is not, it's a submachine gun. I'm not using automatic weapons, so this is not going to do me any good. That's what Junkies does, though. If you have more withdrawal effects from drugs, you'll get more damage out of it. I think it's like 15% for each withdrawal symptom you're suffering from. That's kind of funny. But basically, if you don't get the weapon type that you want, then you're going to want to go back to your load menu. Actually, not to your load menu. You're going to want to hit your quick load button because that'll take you back outside. And when it takes you back outside, it unloads the cell, and that allows you to go back in. It'll reload the cell with a new item. Now, the rad roaches might not be legendary. If you get 3 regular rad roaches, just quick load again. If you get the item that you want out of this farming method, but it doesn't have the correct effect on it, let's say I got, say, a melee weapon that I wanted to use there. That's not what I want, but I'll show you what I want later when I get to that point. Let's say I got a melee weapon that I wanted to use, but it didn't have the right legendary effect on it. You would then go to your load menu and load the auto save specifically, which will be above your quick save. When you load the auto save, the weapon that is there will still be there. The legendary rad roach that has the weapon will still be there, and it'll be the same weapon or piece of armor if that's what you're looking for. However, it will re-roll the legendary effect for you into something else. So you can basically, once you lock in the weapon that you want, you don't have to use the quick save anymore. You can use the autosave, and then you can keep reloading the autosave, killing the enemy, and then checking its stuff until you get the mod that you want. This method works in any indoor area in the game, as long as you found that area before, or no, not before, after you get to level 8. As far as I'm aware, you can't spawn legendary weapons into the game other than the ones that are guaranteed locations until you can spawn legendary enemies, which as far as I'm aware is not until at or above level 8. If you don't want to use this place, the reason why I want to use this place is because I actually want a low-level weapon. It includes all the pipe weapons, 10mm pistols, tire irons, double-barrel shotgun, submachine gun, stuff that'll spawn generally below level 15. If you're looking for higher-level weapons, let me go to the map so I can show you. You'll want to go to a place that has like feral ghouls or super mutants, something easy to kill in it. If it has rad roaches and those are legendary, anything that you get will always be low level because rad roaches like cap out at level 15 if I remember right. But as an example of a place that we haven't gone yet that might have a good place for you, here's Hubris Comics. This is in the middle of Boston Common. We didn't walk inside yet. It's full of feral ghouls. There's a decent chance that at least one of them is legendary. So you walk right up to the entrance, you quick save, well you hard save first, then you quick save, you go inside, clear out the ghouls, see if any of them drop a legendary weapon. If they do and it's not what you want, load the quick save, go back in, kill the ghouls until you get something that you want. If you get the right legendary effect, then Bob's your uncle, you're done. If you don't get the right legendary effect, load your auto save instead. from when you first go inside of Hubris Comics, and it's always your most recent autosave as well, by the way. And then you'll get the same item, but a different legendary effect. So what I want to do is, in between this stream and the next episode of Fallout 4, the Stream Edition, I actually want to look for a weapon with a specific legendary effect from these here legendary rad brooches. I will let you know what it is. I'll also deck it out in between streams so I can show it to you. And then we'll come back and report to the Pridwin so we can go on our next mission on the next episode of Fallout 4, the Stream Edition, which will be happening on Saturday at 4:30 p.m. Eastern Daylight Time. Excuse me, I almost held that in for long enough. But yeah, you can take the fusion cores out of the power armor, so that allows you to, like, whenever you can see the item menu for the power armor, you can transfer the fusion core out of it so somebody doesn't take it. So there you go. This game has very few scripted legendary enemy spawns. You used to use them to farm back in the day. Yeah, and I don't remember exactly where those ones are. I think if I remember right, there's one that's guaranteed near... I think there's like a beach area down here by Reed Marina that has like a guaranteed 1 or 2 enemies in a location there. The training yard is actually a pretty good place for it as well, but you need to have discovered it at a certain level, and I think I discovered it at the right level, but I'm not 100% sure about that. But basically, any old location will do if you're just looking. You'll have a chance of finding enemies, and there's probably a list out there that says all the guaranteed spawn points. Either way, this is the one that I'm specifically going to use. So, there you go. But yeah, thank you for watching, everybody. I appreciate you coming out to Twitch and YouTube to check out the stream, and I'll see all of you on the next one, which, as I said, will be on Saturday at 4:30 p.m. Eastern Daylight Time. Until then, everybody, take care, and have a good one. I feel like stealth isn't really going to help us in this little mission of ours here, buddy. I mean, look at me. How do I be stealthy in this?